Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Onyx Path Twitch, where we are running Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary Edition. We are here to support and promote the Lore of the Traditions Kickstarter. Right now, it's up on Kickstarter. We've got just over 8 days left on the Kickstarter, and we are, let me see if I'm good at math in my head. Spoiler, I'm not. We're a little over $2,200 shy of our next stretch goal. We are fully funded and have unlocked several stretch goals. There's a lot of cool stuff. And if you back at the $5 level, you can take a look at the manuscript, which is almost entirely out now. There's two more traditions, I believe, to be rolled out. So maybe three. I could be doing, again, like I said, not great with math. So head over there. I threw the link in the Kickstarter. I am Travis Legge. My pronouns are he, him, they is fine as well. And I will be the storyteller today. I'm going to go around and have everybody tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, who you're playing, and their pronouns. And if you want to give us what the other characters know about your character as well in a couple sentences when you introduce your character, that would be fine. And let's start things off directly above me with Hiromi. Please give us your pertinent details. Hold, hold on one second. No, Hiromi is not muted. The tech guy just made a rookie mistake. I think it's because Sater's here. Every time Sater's here, the first time we stream, I make the same rookie mistake. So just give me a moment to correct that. It's a blessing or a curse. I'm not sure which, but
I love that your straw matches your hair and your shirt.
are we getting that audio now? I deeply apologize. And
Can you folks hear now?
You have to go through that again.
I mean, I realize that there's going to be a bit of a delay between when I start talking and when people can
a bit of
type
a
stuff.
delay. In the meantime, can you list every state and capital?
I mean, give me a sec to pull up Google. Yeah.
Beautiful. Nobody's okay. Awesome.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you so much, Digital Draco. You win a no prize. In fact, PM me your drive-through RPG email, and I'll send you a PDF of something of mine. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it. Continue,
Thank you.
Hiromi, please.
Okay. I'm Hito Mikoda, they, them. I'm the blind developer for Scion. I've also written the Akashiana chapter for Lore of the Traditions and like 10 other things for Mage, which I didn't realize until very recently. I've apparently been doing a lot more than I thought I have. I'm playing Zero F. They're also they, them. They are a virtual adept or mercurial elite, depending on which one they feel like calling it at the time. They're mercurial. Everyone's mercurial. Why not? Fun fact about them. They have a past life. It was an Akashiana. They did not join the Akashiana because they weren't born in East Asia. That they don't have a tradition, cultural tradition of reincarnation, so the concept didn't make sense to them. Computers do, so that's what they did, and that's kind of how reincarnation works. It happens globally, but unless you actually internalize the concept of reincarnation making sense, you probably won't join.
Awesome, excellent. And is there any other piece of information or factoid or just general statement that you want to share with the other players as to what they do or do not know about your character?
They probably know that Zero F has kind of sticky fingers, both digital and physical, and that the smell of incense and temple bells kind of follows them, and it's really weird.
Excellent. Next up, that brings us to Rowena. See how old habits come up? Rachel, can you please? I knew that was going to happen when you named your character Rowena. So
I maybe did that on purpose.
So please tell us who you are, what you do, pronouns, who you're playing pronouns, and what the other players might know about them.
Yes, hello. My name is Rachel. I am she, her. I am playing Rowena, also she, her. And I was fortunate enough to be able to contribute the Verbena chapter to Lore of the Traditions. So I have decided to make a Verbena witch. One of my favorite themes to work with when writing the Verbena was they are a tradition that's really steeped in like the quote unquote old ways. But what do the old ways mean in a modern setting? Like where baking your own bread still means going to the grocery store to buy pre-milled flour. And so I'm sort of leaning into that and playing a character who, if you go to her house, she probably has like a collection of like really old, authentic books on the occult next to a couple books she got from Borders. She has a black cat familiar named Lucifer. And yeah, equally good with both life and entropy.
I love it. Excellent. And last but most certainly not least, Tiros, please give us your pertinent details.
Hi, Sodaros Filbricato. Been that damn mage guy since 1993, on and off. I wrote the ecstatic chapter in Lore of the Traditions, and the theme, a major theme in that chapter, was the idea of reinvention and going beyond your expected limits, including when your expected limits are, hey, dude, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Hey, wait a minute, that's a problem. So let's fix that. Okay, those things that you do are really kind of creepy and fucked up. So maybe not do those. What do you mean? You're oppressing my freedom, and the conflict there, even in a tradition that is supposedly based around breaking old patterns.
Nice.
And my character, Thale, they, them, Thale Crossroads, which they spell with a crossroads, is a genderqueer musician, hair shaved on one side of their head, from North Carolina, like where I was from, or where I spent a number of years anyway, and grew up rural, but not not what you'd quite expect out of somebody from the Appalachians, and they view themselves as very much a living crossroads, and music is their way of bringing the worlds of humanity, spirit, and art together. And that's not always a happy or easy thing for them.
Beautiful. Well, this sounds like a great group we've got together here. I look forward to telling this little story together. Title of our tale today is A Blessing and a Curse. And this is one shot that I've written specifically for this purpose, and it's up on the Storyteller's Vault. I'll share the link later on if everybody that's watching this wants to try it at home and see if it runs differently for them. So, a couple things before we dive in too far. I do want to discuss safety tools. Generally, I use the X card, so you can say X. You can make an X with your hands on the video. You can type X in the Zoom chat. Full disclosure, that is the last place I will see it. So if we're if it's an emergent or if I don't see it, please give me some sort of visual cue or tell me to check the chat. I do like to touch on everyone's yes goes and no goes before we start. So yes go being like, ooh, please, can we have this? And no go being like, let's not have this thing. I will start. My yes goes tend to be gore, though that's probably not going to happen too much in this session. And my no goes are SA. So, which I think is pretty universal amongst everybody at this table. So just going in reverse order, Sater, do you have yes goes or no goes you would like to share with the group?
harm of children, and like I said, sexual assault. Yeah, that's a no.
Excellent. No harm of kids is noted. Anything in particular you're looking to see? Any particular Yesko?
I hadn't thought about that particular. Yes. Art and love.
Art and love. I think we can make that happen. And so then, Rachel.
Yeah, my no-goes are pretty much the same as everyone. I can't really handle super graphic descriptions of violence. Like, it's fine if, like, oh, this person has just gotten run over by a car. That's fine. But like, there's such a thing as too much detail.
I'll keep the detail light. I think I've played at enough tables with you at this point that I know where your violence.
Yeah.
I've seen your face when Tori was describing things during Extreme Gross. So, any Yeskos?
Getting to be creepy and weird.
Creepy and weird. I can do that. And then Hiromi, any no-goes and or Yeskos?
I guess harm of pets is basically the only thing that I would include that goes beyond that what we've talked about. Oh wait, loss of player agency, which is different from mind control.
Yes.
So
yes.
Like if there's a mind control thing, it's way better for me if instead of me being told what happens, if I'm given what kind of input I receive, and then I act off of that.
And then you decide, right? Which, by the way, to hop up on my soapbox for 2 seconds, that's how mind control should always be run in a tabletop game. All right, I'm off my soapbox now.
It's good soapbox.
Yeah, it should be, how do you interpret it? Not, Anyway, so then the final question that I have before we can really get into the story is, what put all of you inside of a vehicle together on the road in the Midwest of the United States? Okay.
I'm touring. I have stuff up on Bandcamp, and I want people to hear it, and I want to be able to afford my next meal. So touring.
Excellent. And would you all be traveling together for this? Do you, do you know, are you like a coven that works together on a regular basis, or are you just people who happen to know one another? Are you close enough to be traveling together?
I think it'd be cool if we were in the same coven.
Yeah. Zero can run a soundboard.
All right, nice, excellent. So Zero's running the soundboard. Thale is doing the actual the performance part. And what's Rowena bringing to this party, or is it just like they're going, so I guess I'm riding along?
Yeah, I feel like one of the other two was like, "Hey, Rowena, let's take a road trip." All right, I'm not doing anything else. Can I bring my cat?
I love
it. Yes.
I love it. Okay, cool. So you're heading to, we'll say, just for brevity's sake, you're heading from Chicago, Illinois, to Madison. You just had a big show in Chicago. Everything went real smooth. But you have a relatively early load-in at your next gig in Madison. So instead of crashing in Chicago that night, you're right on the road heading out. So it's probably about, we'll say, 2:30 in the morning or so. When who would be driving after the show? Who would be most likely to be in the driver's seat?
Probably Thale. Oh, another thing another thing you all know about Thale at this point is Thale is straight edge. Thale is not interested in, which y'all have found puzzling from a member of the ecstatic tradition, but Thale is all about rock and roll, but no sex, no drugs, especially no drugs, no drinking. And you both have traveled enough with them to know that it's because Thale was an addict and is now in recovery, and it's just like, thank you. You can have that over there. I'll be over here. You let me know when you're done.
Right. I'll be over here being high on life.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, you also know that Thale's. Do either of you have spirit?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, you know that Thale considers their guitar to be alive, and calls it and calls her, the guitar, as her Sycorax.
I love it. I love it. Well, Thale, since you're driving, you notice.
I think it's Thale is sober.
You notice as you're whipping along I-90, you see the time to reach Madison start going up on your GPS, despite the fact that you're still moving forward. And as you sort of punch out to look at the long version of the trip, you see a detour has suddenly dropped in, like literally when you're about like 5 miles outside of Rockford, Illinois. It's showing a detour on the route. Maybe there's an accident up there, you're not quite sure, but it is pulling you off of the interstate onto one of the side roads.
Okay. Zero, you're awake, or is Zero awake? Are you?
Yes, I am now. What's up?
That's I want to know if you were like, da, 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 or if you were dozing, at which point, they'll be like, Zero, you awake?
Well, I was dozing. But yes.
Yeah, we got a problem over here on the route. Looks like we've been redirected. Can you please find us another route? Because otherwise we're going to be driving all night.
Sure.
And I point out the problems and see if Zero can find us an alternate route and or figure out what the hell just happened.
You want to roll for that, or?
Well, it depends. Are you just Googling, or are you employing any of your magics?
I feel like Google's going to be the go-to, especially when first waking up, at least.
Sure, yeah. You pop open Google and you're like, you bring up directions and it says, it shows the route just goes straight up I-90 from Chicago to Madison. And as you're about to turn to Thale to say that, you see the route shift, pulling you off the road into Rockford.
I don't know. Maybe there's construction.
Is that our GPS is directing us into Rockford, or the road is directing us into Rockford?
The GPS is directing.
The hell?
An important question for a Mage
Right.
game.
That's true. Yes. The road hasn't moved yet. So
You never know in this game.
That's true. That's true.
Well, shit.
I mean, you know how construction crews just work late at night, and
Yeah. Well, it'd probably be someplace for us to get it by anyway. I mean, it's not like there's much out here.
As you're moving along, you start coming up to the exit where it indicates that you should come off. And you can see up ahead, past the sort of, past where the kind of cloverleaf is, where all the exits on and off would be. You can see there's like some flashing lights, looks like some road flares. Looks like there are authorities there that are addressing whatever's going on, but maybe there was like some sort of accident up the road. Doesn't seem to be like any real panic up that way, just enough to kind of close the road down. As you pull off of Interstate 90 into the city of Rockford, Illinois. As you're driving along, you start to feel like you immediately notice the minute you come off of that ramp that the pavement here looks like and feels like you're running on like Bruce Banner's training track. It's just there's just divots everywhere. It's a pothole every 30 feet. And
I don't
you're
recall turning into Arkansas.
Yeah, it's real bad. The car's kind of jittering a bit, and the GPS again. You see that when you come off of the interstate, you get onto Highway 2, which again the GPS locks in and says if you follow this, you'll recatch 90 about 10 miles up the road, and then again redirects you further east, like almost right after it locks on.
Shit.
Okay, well that's just obnoxious. I'm gonna take a peek. I want to find out if we really need to divert, or if this is just people throwing shit into the Waze app. So just give me a sec.
How would you like to investigate this?
Use correspondence. I'm actually gonna look and see what gonna view where it's telling us to divert to see if there's actually an obstruction that would make sense, or if it's just sort of like someone's just like mashing buttons on Waze going, oh yeah, there's a police trap, and there's like a wall, and there's like a tanker on fire.
Sure.
Like,
so you're using like a scrying effect to look ahead?
Yeah.
And what would be your approach for this? How are you going about it? What instruments are you using to achieve this effect?
Using a combination of a smartphone and an app that they developed to sort of view through traffic cams that may or may not actually exist.
Sure, I love it. Go ahead and give me a Arte roll. Your difficulty is going to be 5 because it's coincidental. And while you're doing that, what's Rowena doing amid all of this sort of turning and now bumping? So even if you were taking a nap, you're up now.
Cat probably hates this.
Yeah, so Rowena probably just wakes up from a nap like, what? Where are we? Are we there yet?
No, we're it's not exactly lost, but no, it's the GPS fucked up.
How many successes did you get on your roll there?
At 1.
Excellent. As you're looking ahead, you get some like grainy weather cam footage that looks like there appears to be a couple of police cars, and like you see like the reports from pistols. Like the cops are engaged in an active shootout with somebody. It's a couple miles up the road, but it is there. But beyond that, you notice as you're accessing that camera, there's kind of a glitch in your app. Just momentary. Almost like you had to, if you would imagine like a digital membrane that you had to push past in order to connect with that camera. Like almost as if space was a little thicker.
Well, that's fun. Yes, we definitely want to divert. Cops are in a shootout with something, and it's a little fuzzy. I can't tell for sure, but I'm pretty sure that someone more than human is trying to hush it up. So, you know.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna stop the car and turn the car at the next opportunity to turn the car.
Turn the car which way?
Going back the way we came.
Okay. So
I don't want anything to do with I don't want anything to do with the cops.
So you're driving along and you're on kind of a divided highway, and you see that you're going to need to, in order to turn around, you're going to need to pull into this gas station and then pull back out the other side of the gas station parking lot. And you do pull into the gas station. I would like each of you to please roll, give me a wits and awareness roll at difficulty 6, please.
Wits and awareness. Okay.
How are you handling tens?
10s are 2 successes.
Neat. I got 6 successes.
God
Me.
damn it.
I rolled 2 tens.
I got 1.
Excellent.
2 successes and a 1. So I got 1 success.
Yep, 1s do cancel out successes, by the way. But what'd you get, Hiromi?
I got a 10 and 2 1s. So,
Excellent. Yeah, you're immediately thinking, okay, this must be like technocrats, right? That's what's doing that up there. Yes, we'll go back to Chicago. We'll figure out a way to get to Madison another time, cancel the tour, run home. That's kind of like your thought process at this point, 0F. With 1 success, as you pull into this gas station, you get just a unsettled feeling like all of reality just took a jump to the left and then a step to the right. But just for a moment, and then everything sort of mellows out real fast. However, Rowena, you are smacked about the face, neck, and shoulders with the sort of violent realization that that reality in the area seems to be almost spooling and pulling toward the inside of that gas station, particularly the woman standing behind the counter, who you see is getting a pack of cigarettes down and apparently handing them to someone. And there are currently 3 people inside the gas station that you see. I'll go ahead and give you with that as well. She seems to be... you see no indication and feel no indication that she's aware that this is occurring. She seems to just be having just a normal little shift. You see kind of her, she's got fire engine red hair. She's wearing a purple t-shirt that you're assuming is the uniform of the Fast and Fuel as you look up, and it has a purple F on the Fast and Fuel. And yeah, she's just working her shift. What all would you like to do with the information that you have just attained from that role?
Rowena just goes on high alert, like, oh, something is happening. And it's happening to her, around her. This is the weirdest gas station I've ever been to in my life.
Okay, so this being weird, pull the car over at a bit of a distance.
Distance as in still in the lot, or distance as in like up the road?
It's still in the lot.
Okay.
Pull the car over and look at the other 2. Well, what do you think?
I think something is about to happen. I'm not sure what.
You see the gentleman who was buying cigarettes come walking out the front. And as soon as they walk out the front, you see the other 2 people that were in the station rush forward and produce pistols from underneath their hoodies.
I'm getting down. I'm sure mad. I'm gonna duck.
Excellent. You drop down down to the pedals. You're now a floorboard fail.
Well, I haven't turned the car off, so it's like I pulled to the side to see that, and I'm gonna drop down, and floor it.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a wits plus drive roll, please. And is 0F or Rowena doing anything while Theral is flooring it?
So what the guys with guns? How are they dressed?
They're wearing like navy hoodies and very like Jenkos, basically.
Okay. Is there a way to tell, like, if they're mages or regular people or...
Um, they're not using any magic as far as you can tell. If you'd like to activate some of your magical senses, you're welcome to do so. But like from the raw awareness, the only thing that's creating weirdness here is the cashier.
I have one dot of prime.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Please. How would you like to activate that sense? What is your instrument for doing so?
So Rowena's her instruments are herbs and plants, and so I imagine when she's traveling, she just has like a bandolier of homemade essential oils.
Like, hold on, let me sniff this. Okay. Prime sense is activated.
Yeah, like 5,000 of these little things.
Ah, nice.
I love it. I love it. You take a prime sense salt.
Yeah, and just like dabs it like right under her eyes.
Excellent. Beautiful. So that's going to be Arate at 4.
Two successes.
Beautiful. I'll tell you what's happening in just a second. Is Zeroff doing anything at this point?
Yeah, sure, why not? Going to subtly create a subtle illusion to make the van a little darker and the apparent combatants amongst each other a little brighter, so that there's just like this contrast of pay attention to what you're doing, don't pay attention to us, it's fine, we're there's almost no car here. I mean, just put it
Pay
out
no
of your
attention to the
mind.
mage just behind the wheel.
I love it. Go ahead.
We're not invisible.
And what spheres
It's
are
just
you?
not important.
What spheres are you drawing on to do this?
That's going to be a mind 3 effect.
Oh, okay, excellent. Go ahead and give me an Arate at 5. No, 6. Sorry, and who all are you targeting?
That'll be a 1 because 1s keep stealing my fucking successes.
That's
But
no
at
fun.
least this is 1 success.
Who all are you targeting with that effect?
Really just the people with guns, because
Okay.
the cashier seems weird, but is not apparently hostile as far as I can tell. Yeah.
No, as far as you can tell, yeah. I mean, she is currently like, so this is all happening kind of so quick. Like the gas has been hit, the tires are squealing. She's like putting her hands up while Rowena's back there doing this number. Like this is all happening at once. So at this point, she does not seem to be doing anything except raising her hands. And Thale, what did you get on the wits drive roll?
Got 2 6s, a 7, and a 4.
Excellent. So as you're driving, you start to feel the car buck a little bit. And you're
Okay.
able to keep control of it, and you're able to decide how you wish to address this situation that's about to occur. Because, Rowena, as you're looking in, 2 things occur to you immediately. 3 things occur to you immediately. 1, there's an effect being cast that's affecting those 2 with the guns. Like you can feel magic moving toward them. Secondly, this woman, this cashier, it's the damnedest thing you've never seen it before in your entire existence. It's as if there is a pattern of raw paradox energy that is dancing around like the exterior of her pattern. Like it's trying to attach itself to her, but it cannot do so. And the third thing you notice is a chunk of that paradox reach out and smack the engine of the car just in time to shout one word. What would you like to shout?
Oh, so it's smacking our car?
Yes.
Brake!
You shout break. As you hear the telltale, like, wrenching metal sound, followed by a smack of the engine throwing a rod.
Whose car was this?
Yours, I believe, or whoever you'd acquired it from.
Oh boy. Fuck! Fuck!
That's not a good sound.
Oh, god damn it!
You see one of them like look up, and she is like, and they're kind of looking at you because this is making some noise. That's probably enough to overcome the mental illusion to make them look away. But as they're looking up, she is just trying to open the register, and you can see Rowena that she is like struggling with it. Like she's so nervous that she's shaking. So let's go ahead just for the sake of keeping things moving forward, and let's have just a quick initiative. Let's do just for speed. Let's do a D10 and add it to your wits and alertness.
Oh, nice one. Okay, wits. Got wits.
Holy shit,
So that's
okay.
5. So 8 plus 5.
I rolled a 17.
Excellent.
Wow. I thought I was doing well.
13.
I'm at 15.
I put 4 dots in wits.
Excellent. So we have
So
17,
did I.
13.
17, 13, 14. Okay. So 17 clearly goes first. You actually all will go before the robbers do, so you have that going for you. What would you like to do, Rowena?
So setting question.
Yes.
Would I know of anything that would sort of like form the sort of barrier against paradox that I've just sort of picked up on?
Why don't you, this won't be your action. Go ahead and give me a wits occult roll. Your difficulty is going to be 8 because this is some pretty esoteric magical theory. But you are a prime mage as well, so.
Oh man, I rolled an 8 and a 1.
Nothing immediately springs to mind. If you had some time to think it through, maybe you could come up with something, but you definitely are registering that this is not how paradox generally behaves. If somebody is accruing paradox, that either accrues in a mage or in a talisman. It never accrues on something, right?
Okay.
So that's what you basically get, like, top of your head.
Okay. In that case, I am going to hex the gunman.
Excellent. What sort of a hex would you like to perform upon them?
So Lorena will sort of focus on them, and I'm a terrible poet. I cannot come up with anything, but she probably recites a rhyme or a couplet, willing their guns to jam.
Excellent. Excellent. You begin kicking out a quick rhyme and kind of moving your hands at them a little bit and focusing the energies. Are you trying to target both of them with this?
Yes.
And are you going for an entropy 3 effect on this?
Yep.
And that will be coincidental. But coincidental magic starting to get a little bit harder to pull off on these folks. So your difficulty is going to be 7.
Okay. That one fell. 1 success.
Excellent. That works definitely in your favor but I will resolve that when we get to it, if we get to it, because next up, I believe, was Hiromi, correct?
I believe so.
Yes. All right, what you got?
Yeah, no, if we're stuck here, I don't want people shooting this violence. Just Zero is going to pull up a new app and start messing with their minds as if they have Bluetooth headphone or like bone conducting headphones. They probably don't actually, but maybe they do. And just, hey, it's it's bloody wood at like 11. So good luck concentrating on anything. This is scrambling thoughts.
Okay. So this is going to be you're just pumping in information into their
Yeah.
like that they are hearing, correct?
Mhm.
That's going to be pretty much the definition of vulgar with witnesses. So if you want to do that, absolutely fine. No worries.
How about I make it seem like it's coming from their car?
Oh, like they hear, like you're making them hallucinate some sort of a distraction over that direction?
Yeah.
I would allow that to be coincidental, absolutely.
Okay. Fuck.
Didn't go well?
Did you botch?
So before, chat was like, oh, you botched. And I'm like, no, no. I rolled a 0 and I failed. That's different from a botch. Now I botched.
Excellent. So that would be a point of paradox that you gain. Interestingly, again, Rowena, you have the benefit of having your prime site up right now. So you see as the paradox energy starts to, like you feel the essence of reality sort of pushing back against whatever it is 0F is doing. And then again, this stream of paradox cracks that's running around her. And so if you imagine it as like a continuous strip that's moving, right? You see it develop an end, and that end leaps out and pours into 0F's pattern. And you see 0F's light, like eyes, begin to glow and then glow again out here. So like they have like a Tony Stark heads up display going pretty much permanently at the moment. And the minute that light lights up, you see the paradox pattern reopen on her.
What does it mean, reopen?
Like it starts again. like it jumps off of her and is not on her body for a moment. As soon as that paradox effect kicks off, and you see it kind of again form on her pattern, not in her pattern, but on her pattern, and start again trying to skate around the outside of it.
So she's like generating paradox?
Seems to be, or attracting it, or holding it. And it seems to be arcing to the nearest source of magic when magic is used. Strange, odd, weird stuff. What would Thale like to do?
Okay, so what does, being as I'm not using magical senses at the moment, what do I sense? What do I see? Do I see like this? Do I see the heads up display?
Yeah, so you see Xeroth reach up and like hit something into their phone, and then they like, oh, and when they open their eyes, you see the glow. So it's literally like an extra set of pupils glowing right out here, or irises, I should say, glowing about this far from their face.
Okay, so this is my car, and Thale Thale is an animist. Then Thale has a bond with their car, and it's not like the car's not magical or anything like that, but the car, the car's named Miranda, and Miranda and Thale have an understanding that Dale takes care of Miranda when Dale can afford it, and Miranda keeps going until that point. So Dale's like, close their eyes and go, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And that is closing eyes and singing and getting in touch with my car and singing to Miranda. Essentially, that's focusing a combination of spirit and forces to keep the car going.
Excellent. So go ahead and give me Arte. We're going to go It's gonna be vulgar non-witnessed because right now the car functionally cannot move. So you'd be looking at
10 and a 7.
excellent. Yeah, good to go. So the you hear like another like metal on metal noise as the rod slides back into place, and the car starts to lurch forward.
So what? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You are able to drive for the moment.
So what Zero and Rowena hear is you hear Thale, come on, baby, and the car, the grinding, the grinding sound of the engine harmonizes with Thale's voice, and it's like Thale and the car are singing a duet, like a really like 4 a.m. drunken blues, back alley duet.
I love it. Yeah, and it slides into place, and the car begins lurching forward. That brings us to our disturbed fellows. Oh, is there anything else that you wanted to try to do with that moment? Or are you?
Oh no, that's I'm trying to get back on the road and get the fuck out of here.
Excellent. You start pushing forward, and you get to the edge of the parking lot when you hear gunshots behind you. As you hear the gunshots behind you, you see a semi-truck that you were previously not aware of jackknife in front of the road going off of this parking lot.
All right, stomp the brake.
Excellent. That will bring us back.
Come on! That's just, come on! God damn it!
I love it. That'll bring us back to Rowena. What would you like to do?
And everybody's, and the cat goes meow.
Okay, so something clearly wants us to stay here.
Now I'm pissed. Yes, if nobody else does anything, when stop the car, slam the door, but God damn it! What the fuck is your problem?
Excellent.
God, they're like you. Oh, fuck all y'all!
So as Thale is like freaking out and like screaming at people in the parking lot, what would Raina like to do?
Rowena is gonna focus on this woman.
Okay.
Probably using Prime Plus Life,
Sure.
and just try and figure out what her deal is.
How are you going to incorporate life into that casting? So, are you going to like hop out and run over that way, or are you going to try to see her from where you're at? What's your plan with that? Because you have gotten up almost to the off ramp when the truck jackknifed.
Oh wow, I don't really want to leave the car.
Right. I mean, you are still in the lot, so like imagine like the ramp that would lead out of the parking lot onto that crossroad. The truck literally, like, it looked like maybe the semi-driver was going to pull in to get gas. They saw you, they hit the brakes, and then they just jackknifed right there.
Actually, I'm gonna go check the driver of the truck, because make sure they're okay.
Sure. You hop out and you run over, and as you run up, like, he is like climbing out the passenger door. Like, oh, I can't believe it. This seatbelt's amazing. Like, he doesn't have a bump on him. He's totally fine. And he's like looking at, he looks like he's surprised that he's okay.
Okay. I think that's going to be my action. Just like, are you all right? What happened?
He's, I'm sorry. I didn't even see you. I was listening to my music and I thought I could just pull in here. I come in here every week. And he starts just explaining what's up. Zero F, what are you doing?
Almost don't want to use magic again, but I kind of do. Sorry. We've tried getting away from them. It's not working. Tried distracting them. It kind of worked, but is no longer working. I would like to know, what the fuck are they thinking?
Sure. Go ahead and give me. You're just doing like surface thoughts.
Yeah, because if they're holding guns on someone, the pertinent stuff's going to be on the surface.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the good news is you can remove that paradox from your pattern that you gained.
Oh. That is very good news.
So yeah, go ahead. And,
it's good news for now.
All right. Go ahead and give me. That'll be a coincidental. Arte, I'm assuming you're using your app to, access their thoughts.
Yeah. The Zero's terrible at naming apps, so it's the thought-emulator. And it's basically just like you just point the camera at them, and it's like one of those emojis like flying over the head into like
I love it.
And that's fucking 3 successes. So apparently the dice are finally like not being a dick.
Beautiful. So with 3 successes, are you just focusing your attention on the gunman?
If I've got 3 successes, I can spread it around a little bit and find out. I mean, it seems like the cashier doesn't know what's happening, but maybe she does. And
right.
I can just point the camera too.
Excellent. So as you have 3 successes, I will allow you to pick up the first gunman is thinking, oh shit, I can't go to jail. Why did he shoot? I'm on probation. Fuck this. The second one is like, I know she went for the alarm. I know it. Like, that's what he's thinking over and over again. The cashier, you get a sense of raw panic, but you also can get like a feeling like if you, like there's something between you and her mind that if you pierce through it, you are going to be, you feel like that connection might go very icky for you. You're welcome to power through it. It is up to you, but you get sort of almost like a warning sense, like your hand is above a hot stove.
Sure you want to do this as the GM.
Yeah, reality says, are you sure about that? So you do get that general sense from her of panic, of adrenaline, of, oh shit, that person just shot at me.
Good news, bad news. Good news is this firefight's probably over, and those guys are probably done shooting and probably want to get the fuck out of here. Bad news is we're definitely not the only weird things around. Definitely not. Very
good. That you hear that as you're like saying "fuck you" and "fuck you" and "fuck you" out in the parking lot.
Fuck y'all! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck! Fuck all y'all!
So you hear that, and you sort of catch in your peripheral vision, at least, Zero's eyes go back to normal as well. The paradox effect ends. Just as this trucker is like getting onto the ground and like counting their fingers and shit. They're like, wow. I've jackknifed before, but never like that. What would you like to do, Thale?
After stomping and stuff, I'm kind of looking around to see what's going. Pull out my gig bag out of the pull my gig bag out of the back seat, and kind of look around and thinking about taking my guitar out. But am I feeling anything? And this is again Dale being an animist, not a that's paradox over there. But what is the spirit of this place? What does it feel? What does it feel like?
Are you wanting to engage it with spirit sense, or are you just wanting to rely on your?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, this is me. And once I get, okay, we're not going to get shot. We're not going to get hit by the truck, and we can't get out of here. Calm down, start humming, and
Go ahead and give me
crouching down by the car because I don't want to get shot. Because there's
Sure.
people firing guns and stuff. But got my guitar. And I'm just going to try and put my hand on the car, one hand on the pavement, barefoot on the pavement as well, and just close my eyes, start humming, and try to get a sense of the spirit of the place, the spiritual landscape. It's good.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a RTA roll at 4.
Okay.
Are you just using spirit in the effect?
Yeah, this is just spirit. I don't have anything else. That would one success, got a 9,
Okay.
9 and a 2.
So you get the impression the whole place feels kind of run down, depressed. You get this almost sense of like bittersweet nostalgia. The feeling that once we were mighty, once we were great. It feels like sitting next to somebody who was the high school state quarterback for their team and has accomplished nothing since in their 50s at a bar talking about it.
Feels like where I grew up. That's I actually say it just feels like where I grew up. Feels like home.
Oddly enough, you notice no sort of spiritual corruption or component that would make sense for this. And in fact, I'll even give you that the spirits of the items around you, particularly those that have been affected by this, i.e. the vehicles, seem confused.
Dude, I was just driving along and suddenly, what the fuck?
Right. They're kind of...
The truck is like, dude.
Right, exactly. They're very confused themselves. While that's going on kind of out there, the two gunmen do run out and hop in their vehicle and start to take off. Unless any of you are going to interfere with that, they are basically going to make a hasty escape.
No.
I feel like they learned their lesson just fine on their own.
Excellent. You see the woman come out like a minute after them. She's got a phone in her hand to her face. She's audibly crying. And I mean like full on like snot bubbles crying. And she's like, I'm at the Fast and Fuel on Harrison Avenue. There has been a robbery. There were shots fired. I don't believe I've been hurt. I tried to get the plate. I couldn't get out here in time. And she's like, okay, I'll stay on the phone. Yeah, it looks like there was an accident out in the lot too. Oh my God, are you all okay? And she starts like running over to you. And you see this girl, she looks like she's maybe late 20s, early 30s. Pretty girl, red hair. She's got violet eyes, and she's wearing like a purple t-shirt that's got the little Fast and Fuel logo on the breast pocket, and a pair of black work slacks. And she comes running over and says, "Is anybody over here hurt? Do you need anything?"
Hey, we're okay, honey. You all right? You all right?
Yeah, they shot at me, and I told the boss that we need bulletproof glass in here because this is the 4th time we've been robbed.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I'll like gesture in her kind of like in a, can I touch you sort of, kind of thing, like, kind of put my arm on you or something like that to see if she's she's okay.
She doesn't shrink from you. She nods. And go ahead and give me just like a charisma and probably like persuasion or empathy. Your difficulty is probably going to be, we'll say 7 because she is pretty upset right now.
Okay, so that'd be, well, I'm not trying to, manipulation and actually, entrancing manipulation, but I'm not actually trying to manipulate her. I'm just trying to calm her down. So
right,
charisma, then?
You can use manipulation. There's We think of manipulation as bad, but I mean this you
It's a
can
bad thing.
you can lean on your knowledge to calm someone down, and that's still fine.
Yeah. So
Um,
then manipulation plus empathy, and
Okay.
that's and I've got a specialty there again in entrancing, and basically, I'm just gonna pitch my voice, and it's all right, it's all right, it's okay, it's all right. And let's see, holy shit. So let's see, 7, 7, 9, 6, 10.
okay.
That's 5 successes, 6 successes.
She certainly does not like immediately stop crying or anything like that, but she does start kind of calming down. You notice she starts tapping her chest a little bit and breathing, and she says, "Thank you, thank you." Is anybody here injured?
I'm fine.
Trucker goes, "I'm all right. The Pork Chop Express has some problems, but I don't know if 911 wants to do anything about that." um,
Is his truck named Pork Chop Express?
Sure, there's a picture of a pig on the side of his truck. Absolutely.
The cops gotta love that one.
So she says, you can all come inside and have a coffee or a drink or something. The police are going to be here in a minute, and I'm sure they're going to want to ask everybody some questions. She says, yes, I'm still here. What do you want me to say? I'm here and I'll stay here till the cops get here. Yeah, no, I know it's going to be a minute. And she just holds the phone down like it's on and open still. She's just puts the phone down. Says, last time we called 911 here, it took them 20 minutes to get here. So if y'all want a fountain drink or something like that, it's on the house. Come on in. I've got a first aid kit if you're bleeding or anything.
We're good. And I'm going to turn off the car, and I'll just sing a little bit to Miranda. Just thank you. It's basically a calm the car down, while the rest of them go inside, and then I'll go inside.
All right. Are Zero and Rowena taking her up on the offer to go inside?
Yeah. It's probably warm inside, and I could use some coffee. While doing this, I'm still gonna try and observe her. Okay, what is going on with this lady?
I mean,
What about the cat?
you can still absolutely see the paradox that's swirling around her. And did you say what about the cat?
Yeah, what about the cat? Are we leaving the cat in the car, or are you taking the cat, Miranda?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the cat with me.
All right.
Okay, I am definitely taking my guitar and my guitar and my gear bag. There's no way I'm leaving thousands of dollars worth of gear in the car in the middle of the night.
The trucker goes to the back and says, looks around, checks his pockets, and says, "I think my phone fell. Can I use the phone here?" And yeah, it's fine. I called the cops with my cell phone. He hops on the phone. You hear him in the background. He's like, "Yeah, I need to make a claim, and I don't want to hear act of God." So he starts. While that's going on over in the corner, she says, "I'm really sorry that this happened. This neighborhood used to be real nice. Here's your coffee. Can I get you anything?" Looking at Zero.
Sure, coffee's good. Thank you.
She pours you a coffee as well. Says, "Sorry, we got regular decaf and that powder over there that supposedly passes for cappuccino. So there's cream. Help yourselves." She sits down and starts picking up money off the floor and putting it back in the drawer. Near as you can tell, what happened was she went to lift the cash drawer out to dump it into the bag, and she just dropped it. And then the person fired, and you can see behind her where the bullet hit. And you're a correspondence mage, right, Zero?
Mm-hmm.
You're standing there, and you have a pretty good idea of where that gunman was standing, and you see where the hole is in the window behind her, and you're like, "There's no way this dude missed her." That didn't happen. It's very clear that if he pulled the trigger where he was standing, he should have taking her head off. And Rowena, yeah, you can still see that energy. It's not getting any stronger, but it's not getting any weaker. However, you also can see that sense that you were getting of sort of reality winding itself, tightening on this spot. That is loosening up. That general feeling of tension building is loosening.
All right, I'm gonna try and engage her in like a little bit of conversation, like, oh, what's your name? Are you from around here? What's it like working at a fast and fuel?
She says, yeah, my name's Jessica. It says right there on name tag, Jessica. It's not bad when I don't have to work overnights. We boss a cheapskate and won't put in glass. I've lived in Rockford my whole life. Yeah. I just gotta live by myself up the road. I was living with my mom until she passed.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
She led a full life, and eventually you lead a full enough life, it catches up with you. I had gone off to school, but she got sick, so I dropped out, and I came home to take care of her, started working here, make ends meet, and just kept coming to work, I guess. I don't know, though.
Okay.
I might have to look for a new job.
Ought to be a safer place than this.
Yeah, I suppose. I could go work at a mobile. They have glass, at least.
And so while they're while they're talking, I'm just gonna like taking a little walk around and just like trying to get a sense of things. Again, not doing the magic thing, but just looking around for cues or clues about what just the overall. Zero, would I notice that you're kind of were you kind of looking at the wait, that shouldn't do. How is she still alive? Is that obvious? I mean, relatively obvious. Feels fairly perceptive.
Yeah, probably. Zero would be trying to conceal it from her, but probably only her.
Which is not a difficult thing to do. She seems very in her head at the moment.
As you might be.
Yeah, I mean, she still has not stopped shaking. She's still pretty. She's not like unable to operate by any stretch, but like her hands are still going. She may be in a mild bit of shock.
And Zero would help with that, but there's one thing to do first.
Yes, and that would be?
Gonna hack the ATM.
Oh, shit.
Pull out like $100, give her 80.
I love it. Are you using mundane means to do this, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a wits computer difficulty 8. I'm assuming you're probably using home cooked tech, so we'll say difficulty 7 actually.
Also got a specialization in theft.
All right.
I actually got a specialization. Oh, no, I can only use one. That's fine. I also have plenty of dice for the holy shit. I have plenty of dice for this. $100 might have been lowballing.
Did you clean out the machine?
That's 6 successes. So
excellent. You can withdraw pretty much as you would like, up to the amount the machine holds, and cover your tracks pretty well. Short of magic, nobody's going to know that you had done this.
Those thieves cleaned out the ATM.
I'll say 200, and Zero will keep 40.
Okay.
And
Service fee.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a handling charge.
Right.
Sorry. I don't mean to steal focus, but I'm going to because I have to some extent. Now I'm going to slip that money into her purse.
Okay, so without her,
or actually, no. I'm just gonna because she seems like she's honest enough and is freaking out enough that she's doesn't need that stress in her life. Hey, so recently came into a little bit of money, and you seem like a good person, and like this is a really bad day for you, so maybe I can make it just a little bit better. I want you to have this, and I know, but like this, it's a bad day for you, and you deserve hazard pay. If the company's not going to give it to you, then I can give it to you.
Just thank you. And like she starts like rubbing her eye as she starts crying some more happy tears a little bit, and takes out her contact. And you see she's got brown eyes. And she says, sorry, dries her eye and puts her contact back in, kind of without looking. And then she looks down at the money and counts it out, and then pulls 20 of it out and hands it back to you and says, I saw the car you came in.
Oh, thanks. And that's what you fail.
Thank you. I think that will come in handy.
She puts the money in her pocket and starts fiddling with her eyes again. Sorry, I wasn't planning on crying today.
So while everybody, oh, sorry, go ahead.
She pulls out some contact solution, starts just dropping it straight into her eye. All right.
So while folks are doing this, I've taken Sycorax out of the gig bag and kind of just strung her over, and just while we're talking, I'm not going la 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 like that. I'm just kind of like restlessly strumming.
Mm. All right, go ahead.
Technically, this is an electric guitar. Technically, it shouldn't sound like much, but it sounds really beautiful. And the two of you are used to this. This is one of the reasons that Thale says that their guitar is alive, and one of the things that this guitar can do is that even when she's not hooked up to an amp, Sycorax sounds like an amplified electric guitar, and however loud or soft that she wants, or Thale wants Sycorax to sound. And what Thale is doing at this point is just playing some comforting, soothing, really kind of hypnotic liquid,
Sure.
sort of thing, and that's not doing anything magical other than accessing the wonder. Sycorax is a 3-dot wonder.
Okay. And is there any additional effect besides just kind of the calming that you're playing right at the moment that you're doing with it?
I'm gonna kind of trying to soothe everybody and soothe everybody and calm everything down. But I'm also trying to get a sense of how like sad this place is, and just kind of, I don't know, bring it up a little bit.
Oh,
and
sure.
Because one of my big things is to give voice to the voiceless, is to find out, without going, hey, ghosts around here. Are there any ghosts around here? Would you like to speak or something? Just kind of get a feeling and put this through the music of what is this place? What does this place need? So
as you're sort of plinking around with it and exploring, you get the feeling that like, the place itself is starved. It's been sucked dry. The spark of joy, the sparks of productivity have all just sort of been trampled down, and every resource has been drawn forth from the place. You get a secondary sort of sensation kind of roiling beneath the surface, particularly coming from this building itself, of almost a unease with, like, you get the feeling that sort of the spirit of the gas station or of the items within the gas station are uncomfortable, not in a fear way or even in a standoffish way, but that there's some discomfort that's attached to Jessica. Like everything is kind of spiritually leaning away from her a little. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So not so much like a revulsion, but just I'm going to give you a wide berth, kind of sense.
Okay, so closing my eyes, I start to get kind of that sense. Close my eyes again, just humming, a little bit, and kind of home in on that ambivalence, and open my eyes. And what do I see? Kind of like, this is mechanically spirit to spirit sight. What do I see?
Yeah, you kind of get the impression, as you're looking, you can see the animistic qualities of every object in that area, like literally like shielding themselves from her, right? So as if they're looking away, or as if they're tightening up into a ball, or as if they're just trying to get space between themselves and her. And they're all kind of looking at her. In fact, you even get the impression that most of the spirits in here like her. They seem to be checking if she's okay. They seem to be genuinely concerned for her well-being. They are obviously maybe a little shaken up by the event that just took place here as well. But they all do still seem like they are unwilling. Like maybe even the cash register, for example, might even like almost like go to like try to offer some comfort for a second and then withdraw.
Interesting. What's her aura look like?
As you see her aura, you can see kind of what you would expect for somebody who's just been through a traumatic experience, right? So there's a lot of panic. There's a bit of embarrassment at this point as well, because she's starting to come down from the adrenaline. And then there is this sort of... You definitely see some sparkles in the aura. But again, those don't seem to be emanating from her. It's almost as if there's a attached effect that is causing this. And you can see those sparkles sort of like rotting as they're passing through to indicate that this magical, whatever magic is hanging around this woman, is drawing a paradox to it.
I think I have an idea. So, hey, Jessica, those are cool contacts, Jessica. Where'd you get those?
Oh, thanks. I got them on eBay. I ordered them somewhere online. I don't remember exactly where, but thank you. Yeah, I do a little cosplay, and they're corrective because I'm poor. So I was like, I wanted to get some contacts that like I could use with my cosplays, and they match the shirt. So
those are cool. And meanwhile, in my head, like, yeah, thought so. Which I don't know whether Jessica would think this or not, but Thale's eyes are like really brilliant green, like they might be contacts, because if they're not, they're actually not. They're almost like he had on his hair.
Yeah, she'll say you have really pretty eyes too.
Thank you. They're not contacts. I got born with these, but thank you. And yeah,
wow. I wish I just got these boring brown eyes, but these work.
Oh, you got beautiful eyes, sweetheart. So what do you like to cosplay? What kind of, you got any particular characters?
Oh, I mean, I'm really into X-Men, so these are from my Psylocke cosplay.
Cool.
Yeah, I have a wig at home for it and whatnot. I wasn't able, again, once Mom started going downhill and I became kind of the sole earner, wasn't really able to put some money into that so much anymore. So all my stuff's a little ratty, a little bit used up, but you know, I guess it fits around here. Right about that time, you finally start to see in the distance the red and blues.
Like the cops give a shit, you know.
Right. And
Probably more worried about the truck.
a squad car pulls in. A couple cops get out. They come over and really just go into almost like rote routine. Was there a firearm discharge? Is anybody harmed? Do you need medical attention? You know, can you describe the people who robbed the place? What brings you all here? You know, they don't seem to be particularly unwelcoming or like suspicious of any of you by any stretch, but they also don't seem to give a shit. They're just like, oh yeah, you're in a gas station on the southwest side of town with no glass and you got robbed. Yep. That happens. It's kind of the way it goes. And then they say, well, why don't you go ahead and call, once they ask everyone a few questions, or is anyone trying to steer the interaction in any particular direction?
I'm trying to give them a good impression. Basically, if nothing else, out of a sense of self protection,
Sure.
I'm being as engaging and not, you know, like flirtatious or anything, but you know, cheerful and yes, officer, yeah, yes, sir.
And is Zero trying any particular approach with the cops, or just
Zero wants it to just look, just have the attention just sort of slide right off, as if this is so routine that they're having trouble remembering it long enough to actually take notes.
Gotcha. Okay. Beautiful.
Zero has arcane force, so it's
Yeah.
actually pretty easy.
Yeah, that's no problem.
These are not the mages you're looking for.
In fact, unless you do something to draw attention to yourself, the police don't even ask you any questions. They just go right past you. What about Rowena?
Yeah, Rowena is just going to thank you, reading aloud. Rowena is going to like tell the truth, like as a mortal would understand it. Like, oh yeah, I saw, you know, they had guns, they were about this tall, this was their hair color, they went that way.
Right. So they're like, okay, so and this is like literally how the Rockford police address it. They're, you know, okay, male between 5'6" and 6'3" is what you're telling me. All right, I think we know. We'll catch him. Don't worry. I think we know who you're talking about.
We're gonna go rouse the usual suspects.
Right, we're gonna go beat up the same 4 people. And yeah, they're in and out in like 15 minutes probably. It's just, why did they bother showing up almost? And you see
Rowena will comment, that seems both efficient and useless.
You're half right. Jessica says. And they send out a tow truck to help right the semi. And again, they write a citation to him for improper lane usage. You know, because they got to make their quotas, and they take off. They do tell, they repeatedly offer medical assistance, and Jessica repeatedly says, no, thank you, I'm fine. But about, like, as they are wrapping up their questioning, another car pulls into the lot. A woman hops out, looks like she's probably in her 50s. She's also wearing a fast fuel uniform, but clearly looks like she just rolled out of bed, right? Like she's got sleep in her eyes and hair's all wild. And it's like, Jessica, you go home. I will finish out your shift. She says, Mary, I can't afford to lose the hours. She says, oh, I'll pay you out the rest of the shift. You go home you sure you don't need to get looked at by a doctor? No, I'm fine. I didn't get hurt. I got a little glass in my hair. Says, all right, I'll call the boss again in the morning and tell him that we need to talk to those guys about getting that glass up. Jessica says, yep, just like last 3 times. Walks over, punches the clock, and walks back out front. Says, well, I guess I'm off for the rest of the night.
Can we give you a ride home? Can we give her a ride home?
I'm not sure. Let me go check Miranda. I'm not thinking Miranda didn't sound too good when we were out there, but I don't know, maybe I can fix her up a little bit. And so I will go back out while they're talking and while this stuff is being done with the cops and so forth. Go over and pop the hood and I guess put one foot up on kind of the edge of the hood, touching the engine and stuff. Close my eyes and just sing to the car and try and sing her back into semi-working order anyway, even though that's mechanically impossible. But hey, machines are just machines are spirits with the spirits dressed in steel. It's all natural. You got to know how to be in touch with what they're made of. And what they run on. They run on love, and they run on the spirits of the dead. So you just got to be in touch with all those things, and that's what I'm gradually what I'm doing. This would be mechanically extended effect, and spirit 2, forces 2. Of course, the problem with forces 2 is that's just using forces that are already in motion. Whether or not that actually works in this, I leave up to the GM.
Oh, sure. Go ahead and give me the RT roll. Let's see how that goes.
Okay. And how many successes? How many?
You're going to be difficulty 5. Let's do a base one real quick and see where that ends up.
Okay. 7 and a 10.
Okay. So as you are first sort of connecting to it, you realize that what is going on is you could, she kind of communicates to you in her very, through the purring of the various parts of the engine as you're touching and as you're moving things. The way that the rod that is still out of place sort of pulls back against the pressure when you touch it. So what you could do is you could kind of keep an ongoing effect going where you kept pushing this energy forward and limp her up the road.
Okay.
You could theoretically limp her up the road all the way to Madison, but the longer you limp her up the road, the more things are going to start falling apart.
Yeah.
So she's like, I need a doctor, boss. That's kind of what she's telling you. You can get her. You could get. Jessica said she lived up the road. You could get her to Jessica's place, probably without doing any actual harm to the vehicle.
Okay. We'll get her to Jessica's place. Tell everybody. She's okay. She needs some work. Miranda, this is Jessica. This is Miranda. Miranda, this is Jessica. Miranda needs some work, but she can get us to where you're going. And I think is there like a club, some clubs, some bars, someplace around here where I can maybe set up and earn a little money to get her helped out?
Oh, yeah, there's a bar right up the road, actually, I go to called Captain Ron's. They would hire literally anybody to be musicians there. I've witnessed it. So I'm actually friends with the bartender, so I could probably call them tomorrow and try to get you a gig set up.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, they're all the bars are closed now, but
it's way too late now. But yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. I'll gladly. I'll play there all night if they want.
Sure, and I can also try to call around. I know a couple of Shady Tree mechanics might be able to come and give a look and try to help as well.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you.
My place is real tiny, so but
We
you're
sleep
all,
in her. do we look like we got money for hotel rooms?
Well-
No, we sleep in the car. Tiny's no problem.
I can't let you do that in my neighborhood, but you can certainly come and take up some floor in my couch, and maybe one of y'all might want to sleep in the tub. Yeah, you don't want to sleep in the car in my neighborhood, and that's probably not a good idea. And you all pile in. She takes you, unless there's anything else that Rowena or Zero want to do before you leave the gas station.
No. Once we get to her place, though, I'm gonna like set up a couple minor wards.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with my car.
Well, why don't we take our 5, and then we'll come back with you arriving at the apartment, and we'll handle whatever mechanically you want to do at that point. Does that sound good to everybody? All right.
great.
Real quick before you take our 5-minute break, I just want to thank everyone in the chat. It's good to see that you're all here. I want to remind you all that we are here to promote Lore of the Traditions, which is currently over on Kickstarter right now, which we all had the privilege and joy to work on. And I'm going to throw that link in the chat so you can head over and check that out while we are taking our quick break. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So thank you all so much. Stick around. everyone, and welcome back. We have returned. When we left before our break, you were all heading over to Jessica's house with her. She had recommended that you don't sleep in the car in her neighborhood, and you had discussed doing some warding when you arrived, correct? Everybody go ahead and speak real quick just so I can make sure that you're all getting sound. Say hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
All right.
Hi, Rachel.
Excellent. So yeah, you arrive at the place. It is it's inside of a trailer park, and it's just like a single wide, very small, very old trailer. It's about a mile up the road from the gas station. As you arrive out front, you can see there's kind of there's like a rusted swing set in the background, like in the backyard. There's a couple pieces of lawn equipment that look like they haven't been upkept in a long time. No vehicle to speak of, and no indication that there's been one in quite some time. The siding is in pretty bad shape. Looks like this place hasn't had any upkeep done on it in years. What sort of warding were you wanting to? Did you want to go inside first, or were you going to do what you're going to do with the vehicle first before you go inside? I guess would be the first question.
I would let Dale handle the vehicle.
Yeah. I'll just go and kind of do the run my hands along Miranda and just kind of singing softly and basically the be safe and a sending out, actually no, I don't so much sending out a vibe of so much as soothing her spirit and awakening the spirit around the car to basically let me know if anybody comes and fucks around with her.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me Arte. Let's do a difficulty 5. That's coincidental. And
a 10 and a 2. So
solid enough. Good enough. You as you sing it out, you kind of feel the sluggish wakefulness of this driveway, this gravel driveway that's not been used in a long time. And it sort of is like, it greets you with surprise, but then a sense of, you get this sense that there's familiarity almost after the initial shock of being awake and then the confusion, like you're not the first person maybe to have this conversation.
mm-hmm. Kind of getting that. That's right.
Yeah, and it indicates to you more through feeling than anything else that it will absolutely warn you if anyone comes this way. And while you're out there doing that, everybody else sort of you two go in first, Zero and Rowena, and you walk in, and it is not only is it a small trailer, but it's pretty. Hoarded is probably a strong term, but it's pretty stacked with stuff. There's
Hoardage.
It's hoard adjacent. There's a couch in there that looks like it has been in there since the 90s probably. There's an entertainment center that is partially still original entertainment center, partially like one part of it is just a cinder block that's holding up one side of under the television.
Classic.
There's some milk crates that are serving as bookshelves. And you get the impression that there is 2 lives sort of jammed together in this place. There's a CD, like a 100-disc CD changer that's got CD cases sitting up, the music going back to the late 80s, early 90s. There's like boxes that have like clothing and knickknacks like written on the outside of the boxes, and you do see a couple of photos up on the entertainment center. There's a woman that looks very similar to Jessica, but sort of run down, exhausted, has kind of the look of somebody who routinely works 80-hour weeks, holding a child that's about 6 on her lap, that is a red-haired, brown-eyed girl that you can assume is probably Jessica. While you have this moment to sit and think, why don't you go ahead and roll me intelligence and occult, Rowena? Or if you have esoterica or enigmas, that would be fine too.
Yeah, my occult is slightly better, so I'll roll that. Oh no. Okay. I rolled a 10 and 2 ones, but I also got a 6.
Okay, so all told, I'm going to give you enough to put together that now that you've calmed down and the adrenaline's gone, you're not in the heat of the moment. It occurs to you that while paradox will affect a mage, paradox will affect a wonder. Paradox can affect an effect. The paradox, generally as a rule, unless something is implanted in someone, literally merged with their pattern, doesn't affect a sleeper. So your immediate, you kind of have this aha moment where you think that the paradox that is sort of swimming around her might be attached to an effect that's been cast on her.
Okay. Huh.
And she kind of says, couch is there, floor is there, bathtub is back there. There's the day room in the front, but I think it's probably too. She opens it up and like the door opens about a third of the way and hits something. She goes, yeah, probably not going to be able to sleep in there. Sorry about the state of the place.
It's all right. It's all right. Looks like home.
Well,
It seems very familiar.
well, we've got some ramen in the cupboards. The stove, 3 of the burners work. I'm going to go take a shower real quick, but make yourselves at home. And we do have cable hooked up. It's the neighbors, but we have it.
Hooked up is hooked up.
And she walks back into the bathroom. You hear the shower kick on.
Is she still wearing the contacts, or did she take them out yet?
She hasn't taken them out yet, no.
Okay. So just kind of, find some place to sit down, just kind of, hum a little, sing under my voice, and then close my eyes, open my eyes, and get a sense of the spirit of the place here.
Sure. Go ahead and give me another Arte roll. This is going to be just difficulty 4. It's coincidental. Is anyone else casting anything while you're in there?
10 and a 7.
Yeah, Rowan is going to do her own wards. She's going to sort of subtly nick herself, probably while Jessica's in the shower, and then just sort of smear that little bit of blood on the door lintel.
Okay.
And the ward is going to be, if anything, so using life magic, if anything alive comes in through the door, and then using entropy, if anything dead comes in through the door.
Okay. Excellent. Go ahead and give me your RT roll as well. And is Zero doing anything?
Check to see if there are any other intelligences within the house. I suspect no, but we're staying in in a strange place, and gunfire was involved earlier. So
I agree. And are you just using mind in that effect, or are you expanding your senses with correspondence?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and include correspondence on that. I don't expect to actually hit anything, but we'll find out.
Sure. Go ahead and make your RT roll.
2.
All right. So we got 2 on the spirit, 2 on the correspondence mind, and how many on the life entropy?
2.
Okay. Excellent. So as you're sitting down and awakening the spirits of the room and sort of looking around to see what's going on, you see an awful lot of mundane spiritual presence in the various things that are packed throughout the room, that wake up again with the familiarity of this has happened, but the sluggishness of this has been a long time since anyone has talked to us. And in fact, there's one of the boxes of clothing. There's a dress inside of it that for a moment greets you like an old friend and then sort of draws back like, oh, I thought you were someone else. Yeah.
All right. So about that bookshelf, what you got on the bookshelves?
There's a lot of like Tony Robbins type shit, like late 80s, early 90s self-help type
Fuck
shit.
those technocrat.
There's a few books on like there's a lot of romance novels. There's a few books about like work study programs, about like applying for like guidelines for applying for SSI, like handbooks for that. And then there's also you do find like 2 or 3 sort of Barnes and Noble hermetic books among the collection that do look very dusty. Like they haven't been touched in a very, very long time. All the books on these shelves are pretty dusty, but those in particular look like they haven't been touched in a long time. Whilst you're looking at that and you're getting those sort of sensations from it, you do not get any sensation that there's any sort of like awakened energy among any of these texts or any of the music that's there. The CD collection is it's eclectic, but there is a not small dose of it's 1994 and I work in a strip bar amongst it. There's a lot of Motley Crue. There's a lot of Danzig in this. There's
Thrill Kill Cult.
Right. Yes. There's.
God, why am I like?
It's Ministry. It's pretty heavy in that vein. Going into the correspondence and mind of it, you do not sense any other intelligences in the area, but you absolutely, as you're sort of looking through the immediate vicinity with correspondence, you actually get a ping coming out of the shower that there is an active effect anchored, you're assuming, to Jessica. Some sort of active spell using correspondence magic is anchored to Jessica. As you kick up the life and entropy wards, you immediately feel magic pressing back against your wards. That there is some sort of an effect here that's already, whether it be on this place or be on something in this place, it's already acting as a life and entropy ward. And you can, as you dial in and sort of gather awareness of it, you're definitely certain that there is some sort of a blessing that's being carried around here that is having an effect that's strong enough to basically slap the ward down when you tried to put it up. Like, no, you don't get to do that here. That's my job. Effectively was how it went down. It felt like feels like there's some pretty potent entropy magic at work. So that is what you all are able to sort of coalesce as you're doing your various effects inside of the trailer.
Yeah, noticing that Rowena is well, what is Rowena doing to cast those wards?
Yeah, so you would have probably seen her do this before, where she'll just like nick herself somewhere on her hand, and then use that little bit of blood as the focus for her casting. And so she just sort of rubs it on the door jamb and then looks like, huh,
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and to drive this point home. This spell is not necessarily the subtlest thing in the world. The blood doesn't take on the door jamb. Like you put it on the door jamb, and the blood drops off onto the floor. There's no
Look at that
smear
and say,
left.
"Oh."
There's no.
It feels like Mama had skills.
Yeah, she
Looks
did.
like making money might not have been one of them, but Mama had some skills, and she didn't leave her little girl completely alone. That's a good thing.
Although I'm kind of worried about the long-term effect on her.
Did you notice her contacts?
No.
There's dropping my voice down. So when we were back at the gas station, I noticed that when she took when she was taking the contacts out and was kind of just looking around stuff there, that gas station knows her. I mean, knows her real well, but it was kind of a little protective of her, kind of a little bit scared of her. And I noticed when she was moving the contacts around, I think there's somebody did something with those contacts. And that's why I asked her about it. She said that they were she got them on eBay. I think can't exactly check, but I think I don't know whether the contacts are awarded or whether whether there's just some coincidence going on there in terms of she got something that was a little bit maybe more than she bargained for online. But there's definitely stuff going on, and I'm not sure whether it's connected with Mom here or whether that was something completely different. God, I kind of wonder if she got those, if she got, a little something extra there in the mail, that if that's maybe been kind of fucking with her relationship with Mom. I don't think that has anything to do with the gunshot and everything, but Zero, if I'm not mistaken, were you kind of noticing the same thing I was noticing with the bullet and where she wasn't?
Yeah, like I've seen people miss from that distance before, but the bullet didn't go along any trajectory that makes sense.
I thank you, because I kind of got that impression, but I wasn't sure.
So she curved the bullet or something curved the bullet?
Something curved the bullet. I don't think she did it,
Uh-huh.
but something did.
When I was checking correspondence, did I get a sense of like how wide the effect is?
Oh, it's the effect itself is anchored directly to her. It's not part of her pattern so much as it is attached to her pattern. It is occupying the same space that she occupies, but it doesn't appear to be like the effect itself doesn't appear to have any reach at the moment.
At the moment. So, just spitballing here. Weird entropic things seem to have drawn us here during a moment of problems. I'm wondering if when problems start piling on, maybe drawn on by those contacts, if her mom's protection doesn't just start reaching out wider and wider for help.
That would make a lot of sense. So Rowena is going to sort of like look around the trailer, and she is looking for something that would indicate what the mother's name was. And just like, would this be the name of someone that like I would recognize, that I would know of within like the wider mage community?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and roll? You can take your time because she's in the shower. It's probably going to be a little bit. Why don't you go ahead and roll your choice of wits or intelligence, and you could do investigation. You could do search. If there's another skill that you feel would be better for that, you're welcome to employ it. And if the others would like to help, they're welcome to do so as well.
Right with
Hey, yeah, so Lorena will just comment, I wonder what her mom's name was, and start looking through papers and etc. Oh, that's a botch.
Oh,
you.
no.
Ooh.
I rolled 2 5s and 2 1s.
All right. So you're looking around through stuff and trying to find anything that might have her mom's name on it. What are the two of you doing while Rowena's kind of looking around?
Same thing, but digitally, looking for the whose name the deed of the house is in, and if it's Jessica's, then who was the deed holder beforehand, and I got 1 success on that.
Okay. Yeah. So it was left to her by her mother. It is currently in her name. And what is Thale doing during this?
Just playing some really kind of, again, fluid, liquidy, soothing music, just trying to do everything's cool here, everything's calm, and both to, kind of ingratiate ourselves with the spirit of the place and to maybe keep Jessica in the shower calming down. Sure. Rather than, showering real quick and going, oh my God, I've got company, and, rushing back out while, we're looking around. Or yes. I'm not looking around. I'm basically just kind of maintaining it. Everything's cool. Everything's chill. Everything's nice.
Sure, absolutely. So everything's calm and chill. You do knock a box over while you're looking through her stuff, but you catch it before it makes enough noise to actually bring her in, probably with some spiritual help, to be honest with you. And as you're looking through the records, just a second, and I'll have her mother's name. I'm just scrolling through a thing that I didn't think to write it down.
I know how that goes.
That's why when I'm running games, I get a bunch of index cards and I write the names and important information about each character, give each character a card and each NPC a card, and just lay them out in front of me so I can always, oh yeah, there we go.
Well, see, here's the funny thing is I thought I was being super clever when I did this, and I just didn't write down that one vital piece of information. I believe it is Catherine. Her last name. Her name is Catherine Bertelli.
Is that a name that would mean anything to any of us?
No, but
Cupid.
I will let you all go ahead. As you're looking through the records, you do find an old MySpace page for her.
So Cupid.
And you do see a photo of what you're assuming is Catherine, little Jessica, and 3 other people on that MySpace page. And that, I will allow you all to roll wits and politics, or intelligence and politics. If you have status in any tradition, you may add your status to that pool.
Oh, goodness.
I have none of the above except for wits.
Hey. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I botched the fuck out of that. Two twos and a one.
You're like, is she with Smash Mouth in that picture?
I also botch, so
Oh my
like
God.
Rowena's probably like, no, I think it's Green Day. I'm pretty sure it's Green Day.
Can I tap into my past life just because Zero F doesn't have status?
Absolutely.
But maybe the past life did.
Absolutely.
I can't.
Holy shit. Okay, that's all right, cool. That's 4.
You absolutely recognize that son of a bitch in that picture right there. From a fairly recent incarnation, like you're pretty sure your last one. You have a flash of memory where you're standing in a monastery. And you're looking this guy in the eye. Now, the differences in the picture and now and the memory, he's probably around the same age. The only difference you see is in the picture, he seems to be perfectly healthy and fine, whereas in the memory, his left arm is sort of withered and shriveled. The guy's got short blonde hair. He's wearing like a tweed jacket. He's got a lapel pin on that has some iconography of House Bonizigus of the Order of Hermes. And yeah, withered arm. And you're like basically throwing him out of the monastery. You're like, I understand the importance of your work. I understand that we cannot permit the fallen, but you will not use my students as bait. Get out of here now, McAllister, before I remove you. and then the memory ends. You put together this is a hermetic with the last name McAllister, who is some sort of Nefandi hunter.
Yeah, and Zero F will share that. Especially since they're talking about fucking Green Day.
I feel like we probably get into like a little mild argument over like, is it Smash Mouth or is it Green Day? And like Arena's like on her phone, like Googling the members of Green Day to be like, oh, that's them.
And when Zero F tells you that, you all sort of hear the bells in the distance and smell that waft of incense sort of fill the area, overpowering all of the sort of normal musks of the trailer park.
Well, I think I think I hear your theme music. So
Yeah. I don't get to choose when that goes off.
could be worse.
It could be a lot
Go
worse.
I was wondering if that was going to land.
About that time, you hear the shower stop.
And on that note, somebody invoked Nickelback. Get the fuck out of my house.
Right? She's like, "Get out, all of you!" No, she comes walking out wearing just like a long, like probably mid shin length like night shirt type thing, and brushing her teeth like as she walks out. Like, you guys can make yourselves at home. You can grab some food or whatever. She walks back into the bathroom. You hear like the spitting, the rinsing, and comes back out. I'm gonna pass out. It's been a long day. But
Rowena's just gonna look between Vale and Zero F like, do we tell her? What do we tell her? Do we tell her? Do we say anything?
Is she wearing the contacts?
no, she has the contacts out, and she is still the center of that correspondence effect.
I mean, I kind of get the impression that weirdness follows her. You know, that she's probably used to it, but not sure she really knows why. I mean, it's not like and indicate the the old Llewellyn books on the bookshelf over there. I mean, it's not like she reads this stuff herself. I'm not picking up anything that she's got talents, so I don't know. You think, Zero, you think that this McAllister is either protecting her or using her? Or you think that is, or might have been using or protecting Mom? Now there's a question. I wonder if Mom's still, I should go out. I'll go out in the yard and see if I can figure out whether Mom's stuck here or whether this is just, you know, whether it's got her essence or whether somebody like, I get the impression this place don't feel haunted. I don't know. Let me see.
mean, there's definitely some serious power here. So, I
What's the name?
guess,
Catherine? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, just is it helping her more than it's hurting?
That's kind of a question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that I know that McAllister's in this, also now that I know who McAllister is, I'm wondering if she's not bait, but at the same time, her mom's trying to make her not be bait, or rather, her mom put something in place so that she wouldn't be bait. And it's just a matter of attention ebbing and flowing, and the ward around her getting more and less powerful depending on how much attention is being focused towards her.
Yeah, the ward, like it lashes out to anyone casting magic in the area.
Well, I'll just go outside the area then and take Sycorax out to the edge of the property of the driveway with that crossroads thing, 1 foot on the 1 foot on the the driveway, the space there, and 1 foot on the whatever passes for the road. And again, just kind of play some very, very soft crossroads music and try and see if I can sing up Catherine.
Sure. Go ahead and give me that Arte roll.
Okay.
What are the two of you doing while that's going on?
2 sevens.
Beautiful.
I think Rowena is gonna wait to see what Dale figures out before she decides what she's gonna do.
What about Zero?
Probably just another examination of the contacts. Like, at this point, I don't think that there's an effect attached to it that's screwing with her other effects, but well,
You want to check them out though?
might as well get solid confirmation of that.
Go ahead and give me an Arte roll.
It's only 1 success, but it's still 1 success. So
You detect 0 magical energy around the contact lenses. You get out to the crossroads, you start playing, and sure enough, about 5 minutes into your tune, you see a form start to coalesce. And this form is a woman. Again, you definitely see the family resemblance between her and Jessica. You can see, like, she looks like if Jessica was about the same age as she is now, but just had lived a very, very, very hard life. And she's a little undernourished, a little dirty, for lack of a better word. Like, she just looks unclean, like unwashed. Hair is a little bit greasy. She's wearing a sundress that's a little ratty and worn. And she kind of looks around as you pull her forward. And do you have any dots in entropy at all?
No entropy.
Okay. All right. So she looks at you and smirks and says, "Well, you look familiar, but not like someone I know, if that makes sense."
Oh, no, I don't think we've ever met. You are Catherine, right?
In a way of speaking.
I'm Thale. Just kind of had a chance meeting with your daughter a few hours ago, and she's inside trying to sleep right now, and I'm just she's been real kind to me, and I'm just trying to take care of her and maybe take care of you if there's some way that I can help. I mean, um, I'm kind of a crossroads, if you know what I mean, and
Sure.
if there's any kind of message I can pass, I mean, I can do that. And just me and my friends here, and please let me know if there's a problem. But me and my friends here just want to make sure that Jessica is safe, that your daughter is safe, and we just kind of noticed that there's stuff around here, and just want to make sure that want to make sure that wasn't going to trouble you, and no wasn't going to trouble you none, and two, want to make sure that that's not hurting her. What happened this evening, I don't know how much you can see from where you are, but what happened this evening, somebody took a shot at her, and one, we want to make sure that doesn't happen again, and we also want to make sure that whatever it was, whoever it was, that's made some improvements around the property, if you know what I mean, and I think you do, that those improvements aren't hurting your girl.
Improvements
'Cause
on
she's
the
in-
property. There's no, I don't. You know who would know would be Jamie.
Who's Jamie?
Jamie McAllister.
Yeah, I think Jamie would know. Who is? I know the name, but we you hadn't yet been acquainted.
He.
And
Oh, I thought you might be a friend of his by the way you called. Um,
we're kin in a way, kind of cousins, if you know what I mean, but not close.
he he had a run-in with a boss of mine a while ago, and as a result of that run-in, I lost only employment I'd had for some time. And he and
So,
his friends took it upon themselves to try to help me out. They felt bad. He said I was just some innocent that was caught in the crossfire. I wasn't quite sure what he meant, and didn't want to poke too hard at it, so I didn't. But he and his friends hung around for a few months, helped me get clean and get a day job, and helped me get Jess back in school. And they said that he said he was doing some things around the house to make sure we'd be safe and taken care of, but I thought he meant working on the electrical and plumbing.
well, kind of in a in a manner of speaking, he did. Well, how much do you know about Jamie McAllister and his associates?
I know he was into some whatever you call it, the magic stuff. I know he's.
Okay, you do know.
I picked up some books well long after he stopped coming around, but none of that stuff made any sense.
No, it doesn't. It's not written by people who know what they're talking about. Though, if you like, I can show you a few things. I'm not sure how much that would do you, but
I don't know that it would. You see, is is Jessica okay?
she's okay now. I mean, she's physically okay. And what they what they did might have just saved her life. Might have just saved her life last night. Um, I just want to make sure she stays okay, because what I'm not entirely sure exactly what all the, I actually don't do that with the hands because I'm still playing. Not exactly what all the forces in play are, but there's some weird shit going down last night. And I kind of got the feeling that that's a common state of affairs for her. Jamie, yeah.
Is my things here?
Is your player didn't understand what you just said?
Are my things here? My
Yeah.
my item, my stuff. If you can find my
it's still-
address book, there's a number for him.
Okay, thank you. Well, we didn't want to go dig through your things, not mention the fact that Zero kind of already did. We didn't want to dig through because I mean, yeah, this ain't our house, so you know, I didn't want to like dig through anything. But you know, if you could, you know, if you like recommend a place that we check, but yeah, he's kind of, I guess. I guess maybe just like the best metaphor would be kind of like he was wasn't exactly running meth, but it was close, and just want to make sure that none of the rival dealers would be messing with things. I think that he set up some wards. I mean, y'all know what wards are, right? I think he set up some wards.
I'm familiar
They're
with the
definitely
idea.
they're definitely, the wards are definitely holding, and I think one of the wards seems to be traveling with her, but I just kind of want to make sure that that's not bringing it, that there's not, you know, it's not bringing any kind of attention to her, because
Well, yeah, maybe you should call him. If my address book is in there, he'll be under don't call.
So what's the book look like?
No, it's a little black book. Don't you have a little black book?
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's a kind of a lot of stuff in there. I don't want to, like, you know, don't want to trash your place.
How much stuff
But-
is in there? Looks around.
Oh, it's kinda
When
full.
is it?
What year?
Yeah.
This is 2022.
Quick question. Do we see both sides of this interaction?
Probably not unless you're looking at it with either spirit sight or mind magic would allow you to see it. Oddly enough, entropy won't.
Okay.
So
But Dale
you-
was mentioning like a little black book, right?
Sure, yeah. And you can
Yeah.
reasonably assume, if you can't sense it with entropy, that whatever he's talking to, or whatever they're talking to, sorry, is not a ghost.
Okay. So Lorena will just start quietly like head to the day room and look for the little black book while they talk.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a let's do dexterity and investigation roll to see if you can do this without knocking some shit over.
All right, I'm gonna spend a willpower.
All right.
That would be a good thing.
Oh, good. Okay, so with the willpower, that would be 4 successes.
Excellent. So you do find, in fact, like a little leather black book that literally says black book on the cover. And under D for do not call, with the name like scratched out next to it, but you can definitely see it said Jamie underneath it, is a phone number. While that's going on, what is Zero doing?
They were going to use correspondence to search for it if fighting through piles of crap proved to be an actual obstacle, but no.
Rowena will just show it to Zero F. Like, do we call the number?
Well, let's. Now that we have the number and name. Let's see what else we can find out about this guy. Which
You do that. I'll go let Thale know. So she'll like try and get into Thale's eye line and like point at the book in her hand, like we found it.
Yeah. And you can see the spirit is getting kind of confused a little bit.
Mhm.
And it says, "Is she? So she's okay still?"
She's okay. Is there anything? I know this sounds all like fortune teller and shit. But is there anything I can pass on to her? Anything you want me to tell her?
Well, just make sure I let her know that I was proud of her, and if I didn't, that I do. And I guess that this was when things were at their hardest, I was still happy.
I'm glad. It says a lot about you. You're a good person. Clearly, you always were.
I was all right at best. She she starts to fade into nothingness.
Honey, ain't that true, Walt? Honey, ain't that true of the best of us?
She starts to sort of dissipate a little bit and rejoin the area. Zero, what were you doing with that information?
Was trying to get more information on Jamie McAllister, like, well, really as much as we can get.
What methods would you like to go about for gaining this information?
The internet.
Just some good old Googling? Deep web search?
Using Google as a jumping off point, and then probably using paid databases that Zero is definitely not paying for.
Sure, yeah. Give me intelligence.
So basically like all the same sort of resources that private investigators would have.
Okay.
Although they're not a PI.
Sure. Give me intelligence and either technology, computer, or investigation, whichever is higher.
All right. Zero knows everything. That's fucking 6 successes.
Excellent. You know enough to know that everything you're looking at is bullshit. He's according
and
to
that's how you deal with hackers.
Yeah. According to the information, he is a never married real estate salesman who currently lives in Detroit, Michigan, and has a couple speeding tickets, one unpaid parking ticket, and a relatively comprehensive, if modest, investment portfolio. There is a notice with his passport that he has a prosthetic in his arm, or an implant in his arm, I should say, that causes metal detectors to go off and whatnot. His medical records indicate that he was involved in some sort of a fire that caused his arm to be severely burned.
Yeah, I'll bet he was.
But but that's basically what you're able to pull. You catch an awful lot of like airline travel. He goes all over the world and has since the 90s, since the early 90s. And I'll give you with 6 successes. You recognize enough of the tags on some of this data to know that you've probably let someone know that you're looking. There's probably somebody magically watching this data.
Oh dear.
Well, the good news is they're going to have a hell of a time finding me.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that your tracks are that you are fine, but you have probably pinged like somebody's like, hey, somebody's looking into you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're,
yeah,
you're pretty sure it's a carefully
relay
constructed. It's a carefully constructed wall of bullshit. Is basically what you're able to find. Are there any other resources you would like to level towards finding information about them?
I don't think that I have much.
Zero can do more, but it's a bad idea. It's a worse idea than just calling the fucking number. Let me put that.
That's fair.
Oh, I mean, part of me just because we just ran that flag up the flagpole, part of me is ready to just sort of like batten down and wait for whoever's going to show up to show up.
Well, the thing is that they're not gonna know where I accessed the information from. Security measures tend to slide off of me. Like if you notice back at the Fast and Fuel, the cops didn't even really notice me.
That's a neat trick,
It's extremely helpful.
especially when you're breaking into ATM machines.
Exactly. So I don't think anyone's going to come here, but we could make them come here.
All right. Do we want them here?
I mean, do we want to resolve whatever effect is hanging over Jessica, or at least maybe fine tune it so that it causes fewer gunfires?
The fine tuning I'm in favor of because I'm pretty sure it did save her life tonight.
Yeah, I'm inclined to leave it where it's at, but just maybe give it a tune-up.
All right.
Come in while they're discussing this.
Why don't each of you go ahead and give me just an intelligence occult roll, if you don't mind?
Okay. Would that be well, esoterica musicology probably not, but would enigmas help?
Sure, yeah. You can either you can roll the higher of the two, and your difficulty will be 6. For the rest of them, it'll be difficulty 7, unless you have.
Wow! Yeah. 9, 10, 8, 1.
All right, beautiful. So between all of you, you kind of realize that okay, so if this is a warding effect that was put together, conceivably, judging by this MySpace page, you're talking like in the early 2000s, right? So if this was put together that long ago, chances are good that any effect that's been hanging around that long is probably building up paradox. Through some quirk or really good planning or really bad planning, the paradox is not eroding the effect so much as it is incorporating into it. And you could probably scrub it if you knew exactly what spheres were involved with it, and B, were willing to risk absorbing the paradox that is currently hanging around in the effect. So you could do this theoretically yourself, but you don't know for sure if there's other stuff hanging around in it. Being as you're an ecstatic, so at least have a basic passing functionality of how time works, you would assume there's probably some sort of time magic involved with this thing, because if it's stretching out. If it's still going this long, you know, it's probably hanging out in the background until it's needed.
And that's what I'm going to say. Say this in character. So y'all get the impression that this ward wanted us to be here? I mean, like, diverted us to be here? Because I'm kind of getting that impression.
I mean, it made damn sure we couldn't go anywhere.
That's what I mean. I mean, we were headed totally the other direction, and we got called here at just the time that there's a whole lot of coincidences involved. So I'm kind of guessing that now my guess is that either this the ward, however they construct it, they kind of work with the threads of time or something, and maybe it was starting to fray a little bit and kind of pulled us in, going, hi, fix me. Because we wouldn't be anywhere near here if something hadn't called us. Something with, talent hadn't called us. And I was kind of worried for a while that with the whole gunfire thing that she was maybe becoming the center of a fight. But I'm kind of thinking now that maybe we're just being called in to fix things or lay things to rest. Just theory. Could be that somebody is gunning for, but I think that may have just been another coincidence.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's gunning for her, they're doing a great job of it, so.
We should call this person, though, and find out if there's anybody we need to worry about. Because what sounds like to me, I don't know how y'all weren't able to hear that conversation, were you?
Just your end.
Me and mom had kind of me and mom had a chat. And Jamie and his friends kind of got into a scrape and were afraid there'd be some blowback on Catherine. So they kind of set things up to protect Catherine, which, I mean, more power to them, I guess. But I don't know whether the people they pissed off are still going to be gunning for her little girl, or if that's just, if there's just something hanging around from a grudge that's long gone. There's a whole lot about this town that's hanging on to stuff that's long gone. That's something I want to try and work on once we figure out what's going on with Jessica, make sure Jessica's okay. But there's a lot of stuff around here needs to be laid to rest. Kind of needs to move on, not just the house, but the whole town.
Yeah. We ready to call this guy?
So am I the only one here with people skills?
I do okay.
I have specialized people skills.
Avoiding people, robbing people.
I can make people trust me for a specific reason. I don't know that that's a tack that we want to take with a hermetic. I don't, especially if he has any ability to realize that we had problems in a past life.
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be a bad idea. Ren, I think you might be the best person to of the three of us, the best person to talk to, because I mean, me and a guitar, me and Sycorax, we're all good, but talking to people on the phone, kind of not my specialty.
All right. I'll give it a whirl.
And if you want to run a Nigerian scam on him, I can take point on
What's
that.
up?
That might go
That.
poorly. That might
Hello,
go poorly.
hello, Mr. McAllister. I am a Nigerian prince who has come across an old spell of yours.
They wouldn't be lying.
True.
Except for the Nigerian prince part.
Right.
I'm trying to reach you with the extended warranty on your spell.
I love it. I love it. So Rowena's gonna give him a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, the phone rings like 3 times, and then you get like a puzzled hello.
Hi, is this James McAllister?
Nobody alive calls me that.
Good thing I'm not calling on behalf of anybody alive.
Can I help you with something?
Yeah. Did you at some point during possibly the Bush administration lay a protective spell in or about the vicinity of Rockford, Illinois?
Listen,
Get
if
that right out there.
I want you to understand something. If Jessica's in any danger, I have spent the last several decades building a what was it Liam Neeson called it? A particular set of skills.
All right, so she's not necessarily in any danger right now.
I'm going to need you to clarify that.
She's a paradox magnet.
Oh, yeah. I'll shit. I'll be there very soon. And he hangs up the phone.
I think that went well.
Didn't sound like he was upset enough, the right kind of upset to, bring a weapon, or at least not with intent to use it. So
you
that's
hear
good.
you hear
Way to
clattering in the tool shed that's next to the
So how old
Trailer.
is Jessica?
Jessica's like late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Bush administration.
Probably not his daughter, but still could be.
Yeah, you hear clattering in the tool shed, and then like a beating on the inside door of the tool shed.
I think James just showed up. Maybe I should go let him out.
Yeah.
So I'll go over to the tool shed. Leave my guitar inside.
All right. You pop, it's just a simple like.
So when I kind of just
Hand
lean against the door. That you, Jimmy?
Jamie, and yes, it is me. I would prefer not to open this the hard way. So can you let me out?
Don't worry. Yeah, we got you. Open the door.
You see a guy, looks like he's probably mid-60s, wearing literally, you're pretty sure it's the same tweed jacket he was wearing in that picture.
Wow.
It's in perfect condition. Looks as new as it was the day that picture was taken. And he's wearing just like a button-down shirt underneath it. He's very gray now, but and very wrinkled now, but looks like the same guy pretty much. Same haircut. He steps out. You see that his left arm is like all just withered and crinkled up. It is obvious to anyone who's ever seen this before that this is like Paradox has done this. And he steps out and says, "What happened to her?"
Well, she almost got shot for starters. Time fail.
Hi, nice to meet you,
My
Phil.
friend Zero, and you spoke to Rowena earlier, and Jessica's asleep right now. We're just trying to kind of keep her calm. But yeah, she almost got shot last night, and we got pulled off. We were quite a bit up 90, and we got pulled down here just in time to see her almost get shot. And we tried to leave because there's guns going off, and we couldn't leave. And as we kind of noticed that stuff was going on, that I think probably went way beyond what you'd originally planned. And
So wait, somebody tried to
and-
shoot her and it missed.
it missed.
Okay, so the spell's still working.
Yeah, but it also killed a big rig.
It also started a gunfight in order to divert us here.
Also kind of wrecked my car. This is Miranda.
It's not impossible that effect could use a tune-up.
And like
I came
not to
across.
help, but
Oh, sure. No, I understand. I met with her mother. Oh God, long time ago now. She was dancing at a club that happened to be a front for a ring in the Fandy that were operating in the area, and well, myself and my cohorts, we were in the business of ending those types of ventures. So I felt bad after I disemboweled her boss. So I hung around for a while, tried to help get them on their feet. When I knew it was time to move on, I wanted to make sure that they would be safe. So me and the gang put together a couple of little effects that were supposed to just sort of send them help when they needed it. Keep them out of harm's
Still
way.
worked.
Yeah.
Well, it did definitely call in help. I appreciate that. And just coming from where I come from, I really appreciate that you did that. You didn't just leave a mess and walk away. And thank you for that.
Literally the least I could do. I mean, let's not throw any parties canonizing me. I probably could have stuck my head in once in a while and seen how she was doing. Shit. All right. Don't suppose any of you know time magic?
Not my specialty, I'm afraid.
That's gonna be a pain in the neck. My friend who did that part of the ritual isn't with us anymore. So
I might know somebody who could help.
Oh,
This is player asking storyteller. So did you read about my avatar?
yes. Yeah.
So Crow Jane taught for people who are watching this. Crow Jane is an Appalachian hoodoo woman who was the aunt that Thale had, but only Thale knew about. While Thale themselves does not know the time sphere, Thale's awakening involved a wild talent.
Right.
Might it be possible, player to GM, might it be possible that Thale can channel their avatar, who might conceivably be able to help out with this ritual, because Crow Jane knows a lot more about magic than Thale does.
Between your knowledge of spirit and if you had, say, a hermetic adeptus who was particularly reckless and willing to do something dumb, to help, I'd allow that. Sure, I think it makes for a good story, as long as you're willing to take that risk.
Yep. Oh yeah. But yeah, four dot avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, okay, I don't know how we're going to explain this to her. I don't think she knows anything about magic.
Let me see. Let me see if I can call in my Aunt Jane. She might be able to help. She might know. Jane knows stuff I don't know. So let me see. And basically, I'm going to play a song to bring out my avatar, which only somebody with spirit is going to be able to see because it's not a manifest avatar.
Sure.
But,
go ahead and roll your avatar background at difficulty 6 for me.
Okay. Oh. And yet, for those who are watching, yes, this is playing fast and loose with the rules. But that's okay because this is Mage. You can do that.
We're bending them.
We're bending the rules in favor of story, and I need to re-roll that because it was. Let me take the other dice out of it. I have this neat little dice rolling thing here, courtesy of Die Hard and our friend Michaela. But now I got my 4 dice, and they're not going to get mixed up with the other dice. 7, 7, 8, 9.
Beautiful. So you reach in and start trying to bring your avatar forward. You start calling out to her, start singing to her. And as she's coming to the forefront, and you start to sort of see kind of a wisp of smoke in the distance, almost like a fog. And she starts to emerge from that fog. And then all of you feel sort of this pulse of magic. As you see, McAllister is like got his cell phone out. And he has the flashlight app on. And he's like whipping the flashlight app around and moving his hand, and it's basically like creating a pattern of light that those of you who have some occult certainly recognize this as like a hermetic symbol that he's making of some sort. And he's like, just
a bunch of crows flying in.
just helping grease the wheels, he says, as you feel your avatar come, like it's slowly entering the area, right? And then it just slams into your body. And effectively you have what would be the best way for you as a player to experience this? Would you want to be cohabitating in the body with your avatar, or do you want to just play your avatar at the moment? As Adeptus McAllister has basically sort of pulled your avatar, nudged that little call that you made, and put the avatar into your body.
I think playing the avatar might be kind of fun. So something in between those, I went and got Sycorax and started playing Sycorax because that's, kind of the open channel there. And basically, you hear the familiar, the kind of familiar evocative music that Thale plays, and it just kind of gets kind of more dissonant, and where Thale kind of normally has a smooth voice, except when she gets mad, you start getting a little bit more like crow. And they start kind of singing a little bit more like, oh, hey, Jamie, ain't seen you for a while.
Yeah, nice to see you. Didn't expect. I have a feeling old friends are going to be a theme tonight.
Yeah. Hi, James. I don't think we met, but
yeah,
you around.
Maybe.
I'll see you around.
I've first
There's
of
also
all,
a bunch of crows flew in.
first of all, whatever I might have done to your entire family, I'm sorry. Secondly, we need a little help just tuning up this effect on this young lady who is an innocent bystander and could really use some help. And I also happen to have on me, because that thought it might come in handy. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a handful of raw earth that's like crawling with earthworms. And you can absolutely, Rowena, see that this is just tass. Just raw tass.
I'm into it.
So, how's that for payment?
Snap forward and start eating the earthworms.
My finger is not tass. My finger is not tass. I only have one of these that's worth a damn anymore. Can you please? Hey, just drops it on the ground. Okay, cool. All right, that's gonna wake the neighbors. We're gonna need to work fast, please. So, real quick, how familiar are you all with hermetic formula shit?
I'm a little more older than that, a little more practical.
All right, maybe you can steer.
Fancy bullshit.
I'm pretty good at improv. So
Good.
if you can
Smart boy.
if you can steer, or if one of these two can steer the effect, maybe we can just keep up. Here's what we need to do. This initial spell was a ritual that we worked on. Combines correspondence, life, entropy, and time. So the idea, the purpose behind it is that if a threat should enter into her space, if she is in danger, if her body is harmed, the time effect will trigger and the entropy blessing will take over, become active. If necessary, reach out to bring guardians forth to her. So yeah, that's what we need to fix. Personally, I know a couple of those spheres.
Zero. You yeah. All right.
I can coordinate
sorry.
people.
Sorry about that, Zero. Sorry about that, Rowena. Sorry, Mr. McAllister, Master McAllister, maybe.
Adeptus. Ooh,
James.
Don't use the M word. Adeptus.
Jane's got some rough edges there, so maybe Zero, can you please grab my gear and the sound gear is kind of, let's set something up over here. So that way you can put your expertise into this. If we lay out some of my pedals and Dale goes, gets the gig bag, starts laying out the configuration of pedals. And Rowena, I know that you work really, really well with the old ways. And what we kind of need here is kind of a bridge between the oldest ways and the newest ways. So I don't know much about your rituals, but there's got to be some way we can bridge all this stuff together in this place here.
I mean, I can
Got a
just
couple ideas.
wire your brains together.
While you're all talking, you notice McAllister walking around, and he's setting up. He pulls a roll of yellow tape out of his pocket, and you see him like set the yellow tape down and lift it up, and a pole comes up with it, and he starts walking down. And you see it says "Police line, do not cross," and he walks it over to the other end of the property line, pops a stick down.
That's a magic these folks are going to understand.
I acquired this from contact in the Union. He walks around and drops another one and ropes the property off with nothing to see here.
Nice. Thale's going to just lay out pedals, and with Zero lay out kind of the sort of soundboard amplifier configuration that we use when busking.
All right.
And hook it up to whatever passes for power around here, and use basically the Sycorax's charm of boosting the electricity beyond what we could normally get out of plugging this ridiculous collection of electricity drawing things into a power supply for a single wide trailer in a trailer park.
Love it. What is Zero doing to add to the ritual?
Going to use the wireless headsets and get everyone plugged in, but instead of it just doing what wireless headsets normally do, it's reaching into minds and making the communication faster, going with intention rather than just words, so that when they're talking about, okay, well, my ritual involves this herb and this kind of flame, it translates that into, I am trying to cleanse this space, which other people would interpret through their own practices and go, yes, that's what we should do there. So
you're making
that effort there.
You're building a universal paradigm translator.
I mean, basically.
I love it. I'm all about it. All right. And then, what is Rowena bringing to the ritual?
Oh, I feel like I'm kind of an underachiever. So Rowena's plan, so Thale was talking about, a bridge between the old ways. Well, what's a pretty good constant? Tea. Tea is a great constant. So I imagine that Rowena travels with a collection of tea, but she will also sort of like invade Jessica's kitchen and look for some sort of herb that she could add to the tea. Like, the idea is something that's been sitting in her trailer for a while and just sort of soaking up all the ambient energy. So she'll add like whatever she's got in the spice cabinet, like a little bit of mint, or even like some chili powder or something like that.
As you're looking through the cabinets, you find a tea tin from the Barnes & Noble coffee shop that looks like, with the layer of dust on it, looks like it might be from the 90s. That has tea in it that is somehow still completely fine.
Perfect. So that will be the focus of the ritual. To sort of like serve as the bridge between like old ways, new ways, and support also Zero F's universal paradigm translator.
Adeptus McAllister pulls out like a bag of what looks like a big bag of white powder of some sort. And he says, everybody go ahead and dip your hand in here if you don't mind. It's ground up chalk, but it's also tass. So I figure we could all use a little bit of extra oomph for this effect. So.
I thought I was about to have to start rolling up a dollar bill.
I mean, I've seen people take their task that way. Don't recommend it. Also, word to the wise, don't put task in your prison wallet. He puts it back in his pocket and it just disappears. All right. You each have 3 quintessence that you may spend on the effect.
Yay.
So this is going to be a ritual effect. It's going to, the difficulty is going to start at 7, and we're going to need 5 successes to be able to repair this spell. So it's not too bad for everyone to hit. So we can either just everybody rolls at once and we figure it out, or we can go through the cycles piece by piece and let each one affect the next person's dice pools. What do you find more fun? What do you think is going to be more dramatic for the audience? Do you want to do one by one, or do you want to just everybody throws their dice?
I think cycling would be fun.
Okay. Cycling, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start with the universal translator. How much of this quintessence would you like to spend on reducing your difficulty?
I'd say 2.
All right. So you hang on to a piece for later, just in case.
Just in case.
You know, throw any willpower at it.
Just in case my core 3 needs to come into play.
Right.
Because McAllister teleported here, so he clearly has at least core 3.
He does have that. Are you going to spend any willpower on the effect?
Sure, why not?
All right. You spend willpower. You spend 2 quintessence. That'll bring your difficulty. You'll give me an arte at difficulty 5.
Just 5, 6, and a 10. So
4 successes, beautiful. 5 successes, excellent. Not a bad start. Let's have Rowena next with the T that's pulling everything together.
Yeah, I will also spend 2 quintessence and a willpower. Am I still looking for 6s?
You're looking for 5s.
Nice. 2 successes.
Excellent. With the willpower, that makes 3, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So, Satyr, roll your avatar rating instead.
Okay.
Without spending quintessence, it's going to be difficulty 8 because the avatar is working the magic through you. So it's clumsy. But you can drop quintessence to bring it down to 5, and you can spend a willpower if you so choose.
I will do all of the above. Does the performance, the manipulation plus art, does that or expression, whichever, seems more suitable to you for the for what we're doing? Might that lower the difficulty further?
You're already at a max difficulty reduction of 3.
That's true.
So yeah, there's nothing further you
Okay.
can. If there was, you can do it with spending less quintessence. So you can spend 2
Yes.
quintessence instead and bring it down.
Yeah, I'll spend 2 quintessence just in case we need to keep going,
Right.
and 1 willpower to start with.
Okay.
So that's 4 dice. Good thing I spent 4. So 2 4s, a 9, and a 3.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. And then McAllister hopefully won't botch. He will spend his 3 quintessence. Ooh, good thing he spent 3 quintessence. Jeez. 1 success. So 2 successes.
You hermetic asshole.
As you draw together this massive ritual, and each of you incorporating your own flavor into it, your own portion, you start to envision, sort of in the center of this circle that you've built, you kind of see the platonic ideal of Jessica floating in front of you, sort of like the notion of her as a person, and you start to see this paradox sort of that's spinning around that, and now you can see it in each of your different paradigms expressing itself. So to Thale, it appears almost like discordant notes dancing around, trying to like penetrate the skin. To Zero, it's like lines of bad code that are trying to work its way into her program, literally trying to attack the programming of her pattern. And to Rowena, it's like watching an infection dancing around on the outside of someone that's just trying to get into their body. And as all that is going on, you see McAllister sort of like wince a little bit. And you see his left eye like go glassy, like you would expect to see with like a really bad cataract. And some of his hair falls out. His hairline basically just retreats by about an inch. And this pattern that you're all sort of seeing at different in different fashions, you all see it sort of break up and then just fly into McAllister. And he hits his knees, the platonic ideal dissipates, and everything settles back down into a steady, slow rhythm as the music is playing. Starts sort of breathing heavy and stands up slowly and says, "Yeah, probably had that coming."
Ow. Poor guy.
You need another cup of tea?
I might take one. Yeah, and maybe a bus home.
The tea I can provide.
I don't think I should be here when Jessica wakes up. A lot of explaining. I don't know that any of us want to.
Do you want us to tell her anything?
I don't know if there's anything that I could say that wouldn't make matters worse.
Okay.
You know, I wish I would have stuck my head in. I wish I'd have done a lot of things differently.
For whatever this is worth, you done good. I mean, I know a lot of our kind wouldn't have even bothered showing up, wouldn't have left a note, certainly wouldn't have left, spell, and wouldn't have just done what you did. You're a good man. I appreciate that. At least you are to me.
I have.
You can't.
I appreciate you saying as much. I have an awful lot of red in my ledger, so it's nice to do something right once. Now, if you'll excuse me, I will take that tea, and then I'm going to go hitchhike and hope for the best. You all can keep this. Consider it my gift to you for your assistance. Don't worry, it's been scrubbed 8 ways from Sunday. Nobody can track it down. Pointing at he's pointing at the nothing to see here that he put up.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Player wasn't sure what he was referring.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pointing at the nothing to see here. It comes in handy if you need to do something super vulgar.
Probably will.
He collects his tea and holds it up in a toast to Rowena and walks out, ducks under the police line.
That would be my.
I was dancing. So, on that note, though, that does bring us. What would you like to do for the remainder of the? Assuming you're cleaning up and then buttoning up your evening and getting some sleep.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 I've got a gig to play tonight. I've probably got a lot of gigs to play to fix my poor car.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to find a way to get to Madison. You managed to all get some sleep. Next morning, the Shady Tree mechanic friend of Jessica shows up, is like, "Oh, this is no problem. I got you. I happen to have a spare rod." It's almost as if she's blessed and things work out okay. Um, and as a group, you pile back into the vehicle and make your way to the next show. Is there any final things that anybody would like to do? Anything you'd like to say to Jessica? Anything you'd like to address before you take off and before we put a button on tonight's adventure?
I will exchange phone numbers with her and just like every so often check in on her. Try to befriend her, but also like make sure that, her life is going in a positive direction.
Beautiful. What about Zero? Anything for Zero?
Zero will do likewise with the phone number. Also double check the mechanics work and sure, why not? Hack into her bank account and just keep tabs on it every now and then. Oh, look, rounding error.
Look, you just landed on chance. I love it.
Community chest. You won a beauty pageant.
I love it. And what about for Thale? Anything that Thale would like to do before you all take off?
Basically, that night before we leave, because she said she would set us up with the local bar. I'm going to play a really good set, and basically, give her whatever. Hopefully, the intent behind that set is to make as much money as possible, pay the mechanic, and leave. Give her the rest, because she's going to need it. And I don't know about this rounding error thing.
Sure. You do not.
And she deserves. And I'm going to tell her you deserve better than this. I think I think there's a lot of. I think your mom would want you to kind of move on and give her my phone number as well. But let's stay in touch, and this might help you get started moving forward, because there's a whole lot of moving forward this whole town needs to do. And before leaving the next morning, I'm going to just try and play something that, if nothing else, inspires the spirit of the town to maybe get unstuck and move forward.
I love it. And you do so. You have a great show. You're able to leave her with a nice little nest egg, a little bit of cash to get her by, and you all do manage to stay in touch, unlike the last mages in her life. So we move forward and things get better, and that's where we'll wrap things up for this session. So any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns from the party?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
everybody have a good
That was
time.
This is a lot of fun.
Sweet. I'm glad that you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed running it. Thank you all for playing. And I do want to once again remind everybody that's viewing back at home, whether you're watching this on VOD or live, the Lore of the Traditions Kickstarter is live right now. We all worked on it and would very much love it if you would go and support it. We are currently less than 2K from unlocking the next stretch goal. So that's good to see. So if you were watching this stream live and you went and backed it, thank you. If you already backed it, thank you. You are literally allowing us to make this book, so much love. Just a couple of quick notes. This story and everything you need to run it is currently available over at the Storyteller's Vault. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it because I'm poor. So.
and because Travis, who you did write it, right?
Yeah, I wrote it this weekend.
Travis gets 50% of what this book makes. So
it's true.
Please support the artist.
I would appreciate it. While I'm bringing that up, let's go ahead and have everybody tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, who you've been playing, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote. And let's start this off this time. Let's start off with Hiromi. Please give us your details.
Hi, I'm Hiromi Kota. You can they, them. I've been playing Zero F, also they, them. I am very Asian. that says nothing to do with social media. I just really like this shirt and diversifying things. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok at Hidomikoda, which you can see underneath my name. In addition to Lore of the Traditions, Heckin' Good Doggos is an RPG system where you play dogs. It's on Kickstarter right now. Cthulhu Awakens is coming to Kickstarter next week, next Tuesday. I wrote on that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you like Lovecraftian stuff and you don't like the racism that comes with Lovecraftian stuff, then that's a thing that you should play. Bloodywood's debut album, I have nothing to do with. I just think it fucking rocks. It's coming out next week, I believe. The 18th. No, wait, that's week after next. Whatever. Magic the Gathering Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, I did work on. It's going to pre-release this Wednesday days. What the fuck is time? It's going to pre-release this Friday. So if you're playing in a pre-release event, be safe, wear your mask, try to, stay away from people while you're trying to defeat their deck. And you'll have fun doing that. Cthulhu Awakens by Green Ronin. It's coming to Kickstarter on Tuesday, but the Kickstarter page is already up so that you can check that out. And Avatar Legends, I worked on Wan Shitong's adventure book. I don't remember what the book's actually called. I wasn't in charge of naming it, obviously. It's already kickstarted. That's done. It was a huge thing, but the ebook should be coming out about now, so you can go buy it. I don't get any money from the sales. They've already paid me, but it's cool. You should do it. That's all the things I have to plug.
Rock and roll. Thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time to be here. I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity to get to play together. We don't do this enough. We need to do this more. Speaking of people I don't get to play with enough, Seder, please give us all of your pertinence, everything you'd like to promote. Who you've been playing, pronouns, the full nine. Give us the whole spiel.
Thank you. Sodaros, Seder, Filbricato, that damn mage guy. Been playing Thale. My pronouns are he, him. Thale's pronouns are they, them. The character Thale was inspired in large part by the artist Tas Sultana, who I highly recommend. It's an Australian one-person band, basically, whose work is absolutely amazing. I can be found on Twitter and on Facebook and so forth. I also have a Patreon, Sodaros Filbricato, and I have a new contemporary fantasy novel that just came out for public release. It was pre-ordered on Indiegogo back in November, but it is now available in print, digital, and will soon be available in audio editions on Amazon and other fine places, in the Drive-Thru RPG and other fine places. I also have a collection of short fiction, which is also available in all of those places. And in the meantime, I'm still working on Mage stuff, and I work on a bunch of other stuff as well. Oh, yay, thank you.
The copy of Red Shoes is in the other room.
The
copy of Red Shoes is in the other room.
Oh, that's true. You have Red Shoes too. Yeah, thank you. And thank you for, actually, yeah, thank you. And thank you for all of that. But, yay, love.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. And I've just thrown the link to your Patreon down there in the chat. Red Shoes is on Drive-Thru, right? Drive-Thru RPG? While I'm...
Red Shoes and Valhalla are both on Drive-Thru and Amazon, and probably a bunch of other places too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the link to Quiet Thunder, which is your publishing company, right there at the Drive-Thru RPG in the chat. But while I'm digging that link up, another person that I don't get to play with enough, though I get to play with more than everybody else, would be our lovely Rowena. Please give us all of your pertinent details. I see how fast I fell right back into calling you Rowena. Like just.
I absolutely did that on purpose.
I figured as much.
Oh, yeah. Hello, my name is Rachel. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet. As far as what I am doing, I do a whole lot of streaming, mostly with Vorpal Tales. I'm going to be there tomorrow running some Vampire the Requiem, Belial's Brood. It's a lot of fun. And then later in the evening, I'm going to be over at Big Bad Industries for the debut of his all Setite game. It's got a really cool cast. I'm going to be playing a Nordic Setite who worships Loki as Set. And wants to liberate Valhalla, which is clearly a prison. Then on Friday, I'm back at Vorpal Tales running Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep. That's a lot of fun as well. We are doing the season finale of our Doom game on Monday. That ended on a great note last night. Yeah, and then on Sundays, I'm in another Mage game. If you want to watch me play a hollow one, Mind Mage, we are currently fighting to liberate the Avatar soul. It's unclear right now. One of our coven mates. That's also Vorpal Tales on Sunday nights. And then over on Storyteller's Vault, I have just released with two other writing partners a player's guide to the Sabbat for V5. So we sort of figured out a way to make touchstones work with Paths of Enlightenment. And there's also a bunch of NPCs that your packs can work for as they build their cults of personality and decide what the Sabbat will look like in the 21st century. We already hit silver, so that's really exciting. That's about it. Come follow me on Twitter and Twitch.
Congratulations on that, by the way. And I just threw the link to the player's guide to the Sabbat in the chat as well as Vorpal Tales. So I guess that leaves me, right? I'm Travis, he, him, they, all fine with me. When I'm not doing this, I am developing books and writing books for largely for Onyx Path, but freelance for a few other companies as well. Got some stuff coming up from Dirty Vortex pretty soon. I'll be able to talk a little bit more about shortly. And I might be doing some things with Blood for the Blood God and whatnot, but we'll see how that goes too. Well, stay tuned. Follow me on social media. I'm at Travis Legge everywhere. But in the meantime, I would like to remind you once again to please back Lore of the Traditions. I would like to tell you that I will be back here in this very spot in a couple of hours to play Scion Dragon, as I'm playing my apparently my ode to Daryl Hannah. I didn't realize I was playing Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, but that's what my character's turned into.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun. And then I'll be back here again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. There's going to be an interview show about Mage that we're premiering. I think it's called Walking into Shadow. And that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be being interviewed tomorrow, and then Friday morning, this isn't even on our schedule yet because somebody made a mistake and didn't put it on the schedule. Friday morning at 11 a.m. Or at noon Eastern, I think, I'm doing an actual play of another Mage actual play with a couple more of the authors of Lore of the Traditions and a couple other fun guest stars. So please, if you get the chance, tune in for all that. If you haven't done so, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get your shots, socially distance, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you again real soon.
Wear a good mask.
Bye.